Hey folks, we are back with a new episode of Three Men and an Anime. Huzzah!
Are you sure? This kind of looks like the first one.
We are doing a season 2. Again.
Okay.
This time we are covering season 2 of Space Battleship Yamato 2199. Well, actually this time it's 2202.
2202.
This was my series selection because I hadn't finished watching it yet. I'd watched the first half because, oh dear lord, the way they released the Space Battleship Yamato stuff is painful. I get why they do it,
Yeah.
but it hurts.
We have covered shows that have been released that way before.
Yes.
20 years ago.
Yes.
So you can watch them all straight through.
We did 2199 several years after it came out.
Yes.
Yeah. A couple of, I think Gunbuster was released the same way.
Gunbuster might have been, actually, from what I understand, Girls and Panzer was released that way also.
Okay.
Really? Okay.
Yep.
I only heard about Girls and Panzer after it became a weekly series, so...
Anyway, for those who want to know, basically the way Yamato was released, both 2199 and 2202, was they released it in the theaters. It was not released on TV. So the first 2 episodes were shown in the theaters, and then sometime later they finished the next 4 episodes, showed them in the theaters, and then they did then they animated, did all the work and released then the next 4 episodes and put them in the theaters, which meant there were several months in between blocks of them being released. Which meant that the entire 26-episode series took about 2 years to show.
Yeah.
Which is not infuriating in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, so when you get to the end of the show one week and you've got a whole week to wait for the next episode...
That's nice,
it
kid.
ain't so bad. Yeah.
Cute kid. I watched 4 episodes and had to wait 4 months. Or longer. Now...
To be fair, you could have ended up with Farscape with a... cliffhanger ending. It's canceled. What? No, bullshit. Screw you. Okay, fine. A couple years later, we'll do a TV movie with half the budget.
Now, to be fair, on the plus side, the Yamato series looks fucking gorgeous.
Yes.
Because it has movie budget.
Yes.
So, I'm kind of okay with it, but it hurt. Especially with 2202.
I will say the one thing that I forgot to do as we were watching it through, and it might remind me as we go through the story again.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't actually keep that in mind when I was watching it, so I didn't have that little place mark in my head to say, okay, so at this point they would be breaking for 4 months, and that's the end of that episode. Fuck you!
Oh, dude. I will tell you the best one of those reveals. Hang on 1 second here.
I mean, I can imagine one of them, definitely.
Their episode 10 was a breakpoint.
Yes.
Of course it was. That's
The single biggest
when the rock
reveal
star
of the
comes
entire
back.
show.
Oh dear.
That was one of the breakpoints.
Yeah.
So, all
Let's
right.
just say this right now. Hold on to your butt. Spoilers incoming. So you know.
Yes.
here we go.
Okay. So as usual, as we've been doing recently, especially with shows we're doing sequel series to, we're not going to go blow by blow. Also, on the plus side, it's a sequel series, so we don't have to talk about all the characters because we did that last time. You know the cast. With a couple of with one character is no longer around, and a couple other ones don't show up very often. Don't really show up. And they only add a couple of new ones. One of whom was technically in 2199, but wasn't really.
Yeah, you can tell this is one of the tests of a bad show from season 1 to season 2. If you have to be reintroduced to the characters, it's a bad show.
So the basically the premise is as follows. It's been a couple of years since the end of 2190 of the previous series. Earth has been rebuilding and doing a ridiculously good job of it.
suspiciously good job of it.
They have allied. The Gamelon Empire and Earth have allied with each other. They are now friends. They get along.
They have colonies, and
the Gamelons are basically like, yeah, we are too big and decentralized, and we no longer have a dictator running things. So, we're gonna, if you guys want, we are more than happy to cede some of our colony worlds to you guys.
Yeah.
Since, we can't really run things quite as efficiently, especially as we're trying to shift over to a more democratic system. Instead of, having the having the Emperor run things.
They've kind of almost stealth annexed Earth into the
Sort of.
Empire,
They're
but
definitively
left it with its own.
Earth is definitively its own government.
Yeah.
And they have their own space fleet. And when something's revealed in episode 1, the Gamelons are like, okay, they are not going to be a pushover now, are they? So the series opens with basically opens with a big space battle. A combined Earth and Gamelon fleet is moving on a fleet of a Gatlantean fleet. Now, Gatlantis was technically introduced during 2199. And there's a mini sort of OVA series, OVA thing that apparently, which I can't find. I've looked, that has that has a little bit more about Gatlantis in it.
Yeah, the military commander from the first season, Dommel,
Yep.
was basically on the front line fighting the Gatlantean Empire on the other side, and was brought off the front lines to go and deal with the Yamato in the first one.
Yes, and he was kicking Gatlantis' ass because it's motherfucking
there
Dommel.
Clearly, no consequences to this move.
Yeah, it turns out that pulling Dommel off the front lines at that point turns out has come back to bite everybody in the ass.
Because all the other Gamelons are basically inept.
There are several good, competent Gamelon commanders. None are geniuses the way Dommel was, and it looks like pulling off front lines meant that they weren't able to finish Gatlantis off, and Gatlantis was able to bounce back and do what they're doing now.
Yeah.
The impression I got was Gatlantis probably would have been wiped out by the would have been completely taken out by the Gamelons if they just left Dommel in charge. And basically said, "Yeah, Earth's doing this rebellion thing. We don't care. We've got to deal with the Gatlantis. They're an actual threat." Except that Dessler became like, Gatlantis is boring. The Yamato is interesting.
Yeah.
Because that's exactly what happened.
Yes.
Yeah. Dommel is a child with ADD. That's been going on long enough. I'm bored. Ooh, shiny.
To be fair, Dessler is smarter than basically everybody around him, and is really bored.
Yeah, and to be fair, he took one look at the Gatlanteans. Like, yeah, they got a lot of guys, but my God, their tactics are so fucking predictable. They can finish these guys anytime.
And he's not wrong there, really.
No, he's really not.
So the big fight happening. Okay, we're fighting. The Gamelon Super Dreads are coming out with these giant. I love the. Okay, we're gonna put we don't have the fancy wave motion shields that Earth has. So what we're gonna do? Giant slabs of metal. We're gonna use hold in front of our ships with tractor beams.
Yeah, we're literally gonna just take ablative shields.
And you see the Common Empire firing stuff at them, and it's like going. It goes complete off.
Fucking starships with bucklers.
A little bit bigger than their tower shields. God damn it. Because they're blocking not just for the dreads, but for the rest of the fleet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that concept I think inspired Earth to do something a little bit later on.
Don't know what you're talking about.
But then the Gatlanteans reveal their super dreadnought thing.
Yeah.
Which then proceeds to open up with all the Freem.
The thing is, right, and I need to reference this because this is going to be one of the main points and main problems I have with this show.
Yep.
And I'll preface that straight away. Episode 1, okay, there's this huge Gatlantean empire, and to give you an idea of the Gatlanteans, again, in most strategy games, you'll get we'll reference Games Workshop in this. You'll get the Space Marines, okay? The elites, the big guys, loads of armor, but you don't get many because they're so good. And then you get the Horde armies, the Nids or the Orcs that are not that great, but there's massive bodies. The Gatlanteans are both.
Yeah.
They become both because laziness. But I don't know. I don't know why they did it.
Yeah.
It might be laziness. It might have just been a way to cut corners. It might have just been.
I haven't seen this is the thing. I'm coming into this not knowing Star Blazers the original, okay, or the original version. I'm looking at it based on purely what I'm seeing in front of me. And they have like a mass fleet that's for the most part holding its own and doing a good job against the combined Earth Gamelon forces.
Yep.
And they seem to be all orbiting around this huge, almost cross-shaped asteroid field.
Yep.
Rock construct. And just as the Earth force start to push through, the rocks start to fall away, and the cross starts to turn and drop on its axis. And it turns out it was basically a huge super destroyer that for some reason was floating upright and had surrounded itself in asteroids as like a blade of armor.
That is a trick that gets used multiple times in the show, though. So
it is, yeah. So that's a known thing. But it was a reveal in this instance. So
yes, and that was cool. I actually dug that.
Cool.
And it's like, okay, cool. They're revealing their new super weapon. Cool.
Yeah, and it's this huge thing where it's like got like orbiting funnels all around it that power up, and it's got these massive cannons that don't even use the main guns and just annihilate like a sector of the Earth.
Yeah, it kind of goes all gunbuster on the combined fleet. It wipes out a swath of them. But there's some really cool. There's some cool shots of like Kodai's commanding a smaller, like an Earth destroyer during this, and doing cool flight, zipping around amongst the Atlantean ships, and
it's a really cool scene. This opening battle is
great.
And he's got the great coat and hat.
It is probably the
great coat and hat.
Yes, it is probably the second or third best fleet battle in this season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we get this huge reveal of this huge super weapon. No one has ever seen this before.
Yep.
In a combined fleet, they're like, "What the hell?" They try to shoot it. It doesn't. Nothing seems to work. It's about to break through their lines when we get with the introduction of the counter weapon, shall we say?
Yes. Basically, the fleet are given, okay, everyone, move to these points out of the line of fire. And everyone's like, what do you mean out of the line of fire? And and Kodai's like, oh, they didn't. Oh, they didn't. As you see an Earth dreadnought come flying up with two gigantic holes in the front of it.
Yeah,
yes, it has a double barrel wave motion gun.
The Andromeda kicks ass.
Because the Andromeda does kick ass.
Yeah, the Andromeda, first of its line,
not last. Yeah. They didn't build They didn't build that many Andromedas, to be fair.
We'll get to that.
That's true.
But yeah, and it opens up and just it doesn't annihilate this ship, but it does massive damage, and it
oh no, yeah, right. The wave motion guns do not destroy this ship.
No,
it just
it disables
scorches the entire outer hull, but it's still running.
Well, they think it's dead, but then like some of their ships have to withdraw, and then it chases them down. That ship chases the dreadnought chases them down to Earth, so it learns where Earth is.
Yeah, it's taken this massive beam from a double-barreled wave motion gun, which we've seen it destroy fucking continents before that gun. Okay.
Yep.
This thing took both barrels, singed its paint job, and then decided to wait until the play dead until the enemy fleet started to leave for home, and follow two of the damaged ships that were going, because most likely going back to their shipyards, and followed them through the warp point.
Yep. So that happens. Also, about this time, everyone who was a member of the crew of the Yamato gets a vision. This is important. Boy, oh boy, is this important.
Oh, yes.
Well, sorry, everybody except one person, which leads to something stupid. I'm at any rate. So yeah. Basically, it's a distress call, a psychic distress call from Teresa of Terrazat, whom the Atlanteans are besieging. And yeah, it's basically everyone who's on the Yamato has visions of it's the person who's closest to them who's passed away.
Oh yeah, the typically the father figure.
Yeah. Well, again, it's for some of them it's siblings or what have you. The one person who doesn't have one is Mori, and that's probably because she doesn't have any memories prior to the beginning of Yamato 2199. Really,
having been brain fragged by the Cosmo engine.
No, that wasn't why she didn't have her memories. It was literally head trauma from an accident.
Was it?
Yeah.
Originally, it was
Yeah.
I thought she got brain fragged by the Cosmo engine that crashed on Mars.
No.
Okay.
No.
I misremembered.
No, she was in a literal car accident with Starsha's sister. I can't remember which one it was.
Oh, yeah, that's where my confusion's coming in. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
She was in close proximity to in Iskandarians, but yeah.
Yes, she was. She looked a lot like, I think it was Eurisha, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sasha's the one who died. And basically, she and Eurisha were basically hanging out because she was Eurisha's sort of liaison to Earth, and they looked a lot alike. So it's like, this is kind of fun and cute. That's a bad question, Duani, and don't.
Shush.
The question is, does the two barrels lower the power of the wave motion gun 50% through both barrels? Actually, no, it might have actually, because it didn't actually destroy the Atlantean dreadnought. So
yeah, they do this thing where yeah, it's really impressive to have two barrels. You've still only got one wave motion engine, right? Oh yeah.
Now it's probably a bigger wave motion engine than the Yamato had. I mean, it's a bigger ship.
Bigger class, yeah.
Although technically speaking, they keep saying that the wave motion engine basically generates infinite energy. So I'm not sure having a bigger engine helps. But at any rate,
it lets you to pump out that much more energy out of the aperture, I guess.
Yeah.
At any rate, so the Atlantean ship is going to go crash into Earth, and it is stopped at the last second. Basically, Kodai basically takes his little destroyer, tries to basically push it out of the way, and fails because the Atlantean super dreadnought is way more massive than his ship.
Yep.
And physics actually works in this, unlike Star Wars.
Yeah.
But fortunately, the Yamato is being refitted on Earth, and Sonata basically, our Exo and Super Genius, basically powers up the wave motion gun and blows it away. from
It's not actually the wave motion gun.
No, it's the shock cannons. You're right.
That was the refreshing part of it. Yeah, the wave motion gun.
Yes, because the Yamato's main gun is not the wave motion gun.
Yes.
It's the goddamn shock cannons.
Yes, and the shock cannons tear it a fucking new one.
Because the wave motion gun is almost never used by the Yamato on anything but stellar anomalies that are in their way, basically.
Yeah. And
it is fired in anger, I think, twice in the entirety of both shows.
And the only none of the other ships were in range to use their shock cannons or had the thought to do it after they had a wave motion cannon on scene.
Well, I mean, I don't blame them for trying the wave motion gun. It's like, okay, we'll wave motion gun the thing. And to be fair, the wave motion gun did wipe out the rest of the Atlantean ships around the Dreadnought.
Yes. There is that, yes.
It is an AoE weapon.
Yes. But yeah, this whole thing, it's basically this huge super weapon has shown up. They've just managed to deal with it at the last second.
So they do. Great. And this leads to basically, we're now at the point where basically everyone, the crew, the Yamato have all figured out what the message is, oh, it's a cry for help, we should go help them. Okay, we want to go help them. Earth military, can we go help them? No. Why not?
Because it's a trope.
Because reasons, that's why.
Yeah.
Well, we're at war. We need everyone we can have. Dude, we can dispatch one crew to see what this is about. And it seems kind of important.
Yeah. We're not even asking for an up-to-date military, an up-to-date cruiser or anything like that. We want the Yamato.
You can't have the Yamato. The Yamato is it's a thing. It's important. It's a symbol. You can't have it.
And to be fair, they're right. It is a big symbol. Losing it would kind of suck.
Mm.
And but they're like, but this seems really important. Also, we're gonna do it because that's the people we are.
I mean, we were chosen for the original mission for a reason. Now we're chosen for the second mission, whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
And basically, according to the Gamelons who we've talked to, this Teresa lady is kind of like bordering on a deity.
We're pretty sure Teresa's like God, maybe. If God, we're a hot blonde chick.
The,
So
the,
we're gonna go do this.
yeah, the best way to describe Teresa is Q with restraint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Teresa is Teresa is the face of a race of aliens who have ascended to another dimensional existence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, a bunch of old ones sublimed, and Teresa's sort of their collective interface for the.
She is
what's left of
basically the
galaxy.
Watcher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She can't directly intervene with stuff, but she time is just a thing. She can see all of time simultaneously, so she knows basically what's going to happen. So she can drop little cryptic hints here and there. And she also makes a point that yes, your decisions do actually matter. Time does change.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, I can see the entirety of time, but the entirety of time does not necessarily mean it's one straight line.
Right.
There are possibilities there.
People are freaked out. The characters are freaked out. You can see all the time. That means there's no free will. And she's like, it's not that simple.
Like, no,
Yeah.
it's more of a timey-wimey ball.
Yeah.
I mean, this is all sort of. She never says this outright because she is maddeningly
Cryptic.
because she's a being from a higher plane of existence. Of course, she has trouble communicating to us puny three-dimensional beings.
But what's the meaning of life? Blue. What does that mean? I don't know how to say it any more plainly. Blue.
So that's her. So that basically, but the Gatlanteans are doing something that's actually bad for her, and she's like, help. You're the people who are supposed to come help me, according to what I see of time. Come help me. Okay, we should go help her. Like,
yeah, she's not allowed to interfere with the flow of time. That includes even saving. Well, she's not. This is the thing. She's not saving herself. She's basically protecting her radio.
yes.
Yeah.
Somebody's trying to break her radio, but she's not allowed to stop them herself.
So basically, so the basic sort of first chunk is the crew getting together, deciding what to do. Earth military basically going, no. The crew Yamato saying, yeah. Well, we'll stop you. Why? Reasons. You're not going to shoot us down. We're totally going to shoot you down. Isn't that a bad idea? Isn't shooting them down a bad idea? Shut up. We're shooting them down.
We can't let that ship go because it's a symbol.
So we'll destroy it instead.
I mean, that'll be a new symbol instead of another message. Also, when we keep talking about this sort of thing and like stopping them from going to help Teresa, the Gamelons keep looking at us funny. Also, they seem kind of annoyed about the whole wave motion gun thing and breaking our promise to Starsha.
Yeah.
Because Starsha is kind of like a god to the Gamelons.
It's almost like the only people that think this is a bad idea are the five of us in this room. But we're right. Because we are.
To be fair, one of the generals is like,
Yeah, but he's the one. It's like he's the one in that meme that makes the sensible comment gets thrown out the window.
Kinda, yeah.
Though to be fair, at one point, like Kodai is like, "But you're breaking Akida's promise to Starsha and building more wave motion guns to use in combat. That was made by a single commander in a time of distress, and he did not represent us. Nor did he have the whole picture." And I'm
Which
like,
is fair,
really
but
fair
Also,
point.
I will also say, Kodai's not entirely right about the promise Okita made.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the thing. It's not so much his own unwillingness to use the wave motion gun. It's that he made a promise to Okita.
Yeah.
That's what's stopping him.
The big thing is that the wave motion Okita's promise wasn't so much we'll never ever use the wave motion gun ever again. It was Starsha basically asked him, okay, look, don't do what we did, please.
Yeah. The fucking Iskandarians were using wave motion energy as fucking flashlights.
Please don't use them as an anti-planetary weapon to take out people who annoy you. I can say like
my
planets.
pizza's cold. Blast it with a wave motion gun.
Yeah. Oh look, this beer bottle needs opening. Freem. Yeah. That's the kind of shit they were doing.
Yeah, the Iskandarians went a little wave motion happy, just a little.
Yeah.
By the way, there are 2 of them now.
Yeah.
Oh dear. So that's where Games Workshop got the idea for the Eldar.
Although there's some minor implication that Starsha might be pregnant.
There is just a brief shot, yeah.
Yeah, that was at the end of the last series. But at any rate, so yeah, so the Yamato gets the crew together. They take off. Basically, everyone they're heading out, and the Andromeda's been basically told, okay, stop them. And the captain of the Andromeda's like, well, that's my orders. They really shouldn't be going against orders, but they're going against orders. Fine, I'll stop them. And oh, look. The smart guy has convinced everybody else, this is a stupid idea. Also, the Gamelons are telling us, don't stop them, you idiots. The Gamelon ambassadors literally come in and said, no, stop it.
They're getting help from every angle, to get around security and all the rest. There is a great one scene. I mean, we've skipped out a little bit. It's just before the Andromeda engages. But it's like they're threatening to shoot it down, and they engage the planetary defense beams, the defense satellites. And they turn round and focus on it, focus down towards the approaching Yamato, and they're just like, shot cannon, boom. Yeah, you're gonna shoot? Oh, this is gonna cost us. This is gonna cost us a whole lot of PR and defense satellites. This isn't worth it.
This is such a bad idea. Let's not do this.
But yeah, so the other thing is that the Gamelons have let Kodai in on a major secret, which was, the whole, using the Cosmo reverse device created this little time fault on Earth, where time moves at a very different speed inside there.
Yeah, they basically built it just created like a time bubble. At first, I thought it was like a singularity kind of threat, but it's really not. It's literally just it is a bubble of time where everything moves slower in there.
Time moves more quickly in there.
Sorry, the other way around. Yeah.
So they've got this bubble where they can build things super fast. So this is how they crank out giant fleets.
Yeah, I think it was 1 day equals 10
or more. I forget. I forget the exact number.
30.
It doesn't matter.
Some integer of 10.
The other important bit is that humans can't stay in there very long, especially unshielded.
Yeah.
They can't stay in there unshielded at all.
Basically, they managed to come across a hyperbolic time chamber.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
And
it's a time bolt. It's a good name for it.
Yes. Kodai has introduced this by the main recurring Gamelon character, Lieutenant Keeman, who is an incredibly bishy Gamelon with blonde hair.
He looks nothing like anyone else ever.
Nope.
Now, I've been rewatching the original series, and one of my comments was that I made while watching this was wrong. There are many Gamelons with blonde hair in the first series. Dommel's wife, for example. She's a blonde. Almost all of them are female, though, is one thing I did notice. I believe the head of the secret police for the Gamelons, the director Gimle, also is technically blonde, though it's sort of a more sandy blonde as opposed to the yellowy blonde. But that's largely irrelevant. Keeman has no relations to anybody important whatsoever.
No.
So yeah, basically Keeman's the one who shows Kodai this, and he largely helps Yamato a couple of ways. But the price for this is that he insists that he gets to come along.
Turns out he's a decent pilot.
Yeah, he's a very good pilot, and he's generally a good guy, and very smart. For no particular reason. This has no connection to anybody whatsoever. Yeah, it's no surprise you figured out really fucking quickly that he's related to Dessler.
Yeah.
The exact relation is not revealed till later on. But yeah, long story short, this is not a big spoiler. He's Dessler's nephew.
What a twist.
Yeah, he is Dessler's cool older brother's son.
Yeah, we get this cool little backstory of Dessler and his family. It turns out Dessler is actually the runt of the litter.
Yeah. Dessler's older brother was cool and nice, and everybody loved him. And his mom, and when his brother died during the war with the Gatlantians, his mom basically lost it and basically was like, oh my god, why life is almost not worth living now. And little 10-year-old Albert Dessler's like, Mom,
Mom, what about me? And like his nearest and dearest family are like, wow, it's a real shame for her that your brother died and not you.
It's a real shame that her only son died. I'm right here. Only son that counted.
Oh god, yeah, Albert's gonna have to take the throne. That could be a disaster. Albert's like,
I'm in the room.
So yeah, there are reasons that he ended up being the, borderline sociopath that he is. His upbringing was not the best. His brother was really nice to him, and was a good dude. It would have been a really good mitigating influence on Dessler's, less good impulses.
Yeah.
Which clearly he got from somewhere in the family. Not his brother. But yeah, so yeah, basically the smart member of the Admiralty basically calms the Yamato and is like, okay, yeah, everyone stop, don't shoot the Yamato. You guys, yes, you are now officially on a mission to go to Telazart and find out what the fuck's going on there. Because yeah, we actually kind of want to know, and apparently so do the Gamelons. And we'd like to help the Gamelons learn this stuff. So yeah,
the Gamelon ambassador was like, literally, can you just get the Earth guys on the phone, please? I need to stop them being stupid.
He literally went to the president of Earth. It's like, dude,
dude, just let this happen. You're causing yourself a PR nightmare. It's only going to get worse if you keep doing this. Plus, it might actually reveal something as a favor to us as well.
Maybe. And more importantly, guys. You kind of need us to help deal with the Gatlantians because they know where you are now. Yeah. I don't want to wield the stick, but I do have this stick here.
Yes, you have the Time Vault, and between it's helping both you and us build lots and lots of ships, and you're building wave motion gun ships, and that's great. We have a lot more ships, and more importantly, a lot more people.
Point the second.
You're going to run out of people to crew your ships eventually. Oh, we got a plan for that.
Oh, so you'd think.
At any rate, so we also get to see what the Gatlantians are doing. They're basically trying to encase Telazart in rock and use that to steal Teresa's power. Yeah. The person doing this is Zwardar, the emperor of the Gatlantians.
The Gatlantian, yes. He's doing it for love.
Yes. He's doing it for love. He wants to show the universe the true power of love. Zwardar is
not like this is not My Little Pony love. This is This is Slaanesh love.
No, it's not even that.
It's not even Slaanesh love.
It's Corn love.
Kinda. So yeah, we find out over time that the Gatlantians are an artificial race.
Yeah,
they were created by another race of humans, because we find out one thing, that there's an ancient race that basically created all the sentient life in the galaxy, all the ones that evolved.
Yeah, well, this is the thing. So the Gatlantians refer to any natural born humanoid as human. Gamelons are humans.
They are. And the thing is, we found out in the previous series that Gamelons and humans are genetically basically identical, except that Gamelons have blue skin.
Yep.
Yeah. Literally, that's the genetic difference, as near as we can tell.
Yeah. Don't they have purple blood too?
Their blood's purple, also. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But as near as we can tell, genetically basically the same. Iskandarians, genetically basically the same.
Yeah. Like I say, Gatlantians are not picky. If they're not Gatlantian, they're human.
Yep. Now the Gatlantians look human, but they're different in a couple of ways. Some of which are very strange. One, they're all clones. They do not reproduce sexually in any way, shape, or form.
Not in an Attack of the Clones kind of way where everyone's a copy of each other. More, there are multiple templates.
Yep.
Of commanders, and every individual is basically that grown. They are all individuals, but that particular individual, when that individual dies, it is replaced by its next individual.
Yep.
Yeah.
By the it's
But
the,
by
clone,
the
it's
next,
clone.
yeah, it's sort of like if you guys have watched Star Trek Deep Space Nine, it's like the Vorta. Like,
Yeah.
Yes, the Vorta are actually
only
a really good counterpart to them, in that
The
the
only
Vorta
difference-
do almost the exact opposite every way except that.
yeah,
Yes. The only difference is that because they're not like quick grown, they grow them to a point, and then obviously they then let them out at an adolescent stage, and the current model has to then teach the adolescent how to grow up to be its replacement.
right.
It's a really cool.
And then the older
idea
one
for this.
takes an advisory, passes on his name, takes on another one, and takes on an advisory
It's
position.
actually really neat.
Yeah,
That's actually what the coolest part of the Gatlanteans, honestly, and they've got some really cool bits to them.
but yeah, the Gatlanteans are actually fairly fascinating. Like I enjoy them conceptually.
I wish they'd handle them a little bit better during the show. And I wish they hadn't. There's some of the woodgy stuff that happens that's a little eyebrow raising.
There's a lot of woody stuff that's eyebrow raising.
Yes,
It's not as well thought as it could have been is the
No.
problem. Like they don't think the implications or and whatnot out as much as they could.
So, but yes, so the Yamato's basically told go to Terrazard, figure out what's going on, come back. You know, if you can help them, do so. But yeah, but that's your official mission now. So bye, don't die.
Please don't die. Come back.
And the captain of the Andromeda's like, cool. I didn't have to blow them up. Excellent. I didn't have to kill Okina's trainees. Oh, thank God. That would have been really fucking embarrassing, considering that I kind of idolized the guy.
The other advantage is, I mean, up to this point, it's been pretty clandestine. So they've literally had to steal the Yamato.
Yep.
And they had to leave some people behind, and to do so, you know, to get the Yamato free. And then once it's all becomes the official mission, everyone else who wasn't on the ship are like, oh fuck yeah, get me a shuttle. I'm going.
Yeah.
Yep. Pretty much everybody. There are a couple people who get left behind, and they do other stuff.
Yeah,
like Lieutenant Nemi stays behind.
There's reasons, yeah.
There's several characters who get left behind. One of who gets left behind, who shows up later, is Lieutenant Mori.
Yep.
Because
totally
because Kodai's a fucking idiot.
I love you. I want you to stay behind. Why? Because I don't want you to get hurt. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard, Kodai. But I'm doing it anyway.
Well, the thing is, he doesn't tell her that's why he wants her to stay behind.
Yeah.
She's assuming that he doesn't because she didn't. She's like, okay, why did he leave me behind? The only thing I can think of is I didn't get the message from Teresa. Oh dear. But she's like, okay, I'm gonna go anyways, because I do love the guy. I want to help, and if he tells me to go away after this, then I will. But and basically, he explains it to her. And she's like, that's dumb. If you but if you want me to leave, I will. But yeah, it's over then.
Yeah. And these guys are like they're engaged at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Kodai is dumb.
But Kodai is dumb. That said,
Kodai is dumb in many ways.
He's dumb in many ways, but it's a believable dumb.
Yes.
And his heart is completely in the right place for the most part.
Yeah. But
Like
he's dumb.
this is literally not a you're a weak woman, I don't want you to get hurt. It's I love you dearly and this could be a suicide mission, so I don't want to take the love of my life on a suicide mission if I can avoid it. And Maury's like, fuck that, I'm coming.
Oh.
No, Maury, please. Just go back. I don't know if I can do this thing without you. With you in danger also. To which everyone on the crew is like, you idiot. You work better when she's here.
Yeah. You know that scene in Naked Gun where everyone face palms at the same time? That's the entire cast.
Yeah.
Just like, oh, for fuck's sake, dude. How are you the only person that can't see this?
Yeah. So yeah,
Admittedly, Kodai is going through this whole. Oh, the stream went down.
we're still recording, so keep going.
Okay, Kodai went through this whole. He's basically doing his best to lump all of this responsibility and all of this, the everything that's going on. He's doing his best to put it all on his own shoulders. Like, to the point where, I mean, we've already discussed it earlier, the whole thing about whether they do or don't want to fire the wave motion gun, and he keeps going on. We made a promise. He always says it. We made a promise to Akita. We can't fire the gun, and somebody just blatantly says, so is that your decision?
Yep.
And, yeah, I get what they're trying to do with him, but like I said, emotionally, he's a lot dumber than he was.
Well, he went through he broke at the end of 2199.
Yeah.
Like he was bordering on suicidal at the end there. Literally the Deus Ex Machina of the ending, which was, not a complete Deus Ex Machina, but it was actually set up. But yes, the causal reverser resurrecting Mori literally is the only thing that saved his life.
Yeah.
He's not all there. He's a broken man to a large degree.
To be fair, watching the first episode, like, he pulls the shit he pulls in that fleet battle and against the Dreadnought. Those are not the actions of a rational commander.
No.
Yeah, he's basically like it's like a little destroyer. But he's throwing it around almost like a fight.
Well, he's basically fighting the way his brother fought at the beginning of 2199.
Yeah.
He's pulling similar shit and getting equally good results because he's, on par with his brother in terms of capabilities. It's just that he's hyper aggressive because.
Yeah, he's not acting out of desperation. He's acting out of other things.
doesn't have his act together yet. He's immature and had a really, really rough situation. He probably needs therapy. Let's be real.
Yep.
Yeah. Whole lot of therapy.
Now, before we go any further, one of the important characters that also shows up around this time, because we find out that there's a colony planet, the 11th planet in the system that was an artificial planet built by the Gamelons when they were trying to conquer Earth. Which is a neat little colony world where humans and Gamelons are living together. It's really cool. And Admiral Hijikata has retired there, basically. Because he's like, yeah, I just don't feel like I fit in with the current Earth military at all. And the whole wave motion gun happiness thing, that just seems like a bad idea.
Yeah, it's not really me.
Also, I'm old. I'm done. I'm just done.
Yeah,
I'm
some
old
of
and
us
tired.
actually get to retire.
I'm going to retire here and run this colony. It'll be cool. Oh, the Atlanteans showed up are basically like, okay, we're here. We're now here. We're attacking you. All right, well, you've done a number on basically all our troops here. We surrender. What's this surrender thing?
No, we don't. We don't accept your surrender.
Well, they don't know what it means. That's the thing. That's literally.
They're like, what is this?
We would like to offer our surrender. We don't accept it. What's a surrender? I think it's a kind of pastry.
Literally, they're like, they literally said the Atlantic commander's like, what is a surrender? And Hijikata it tells him what it is, and he's like, that's stupid. No.
Why would you do that?
You will stop fighting when you're all dead.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
The conflict will cease once we killed you all, or you kill us.
That's how it works, right? No, dude. What about preservation of forces? What? Or the waste of waste of what? You guys are dumb. Die.
So when we mentioned the Gatlantians wanting to show the universe love, they mean the greatest love of all. I.e., we love you so much we're going to free you from pain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, basically the long story short on the whole Gatlantean thing is humans are flawed because they have emotions like love and anger, and humans' notions of love is inherently broken and will lead them to basically cause suffering in other people or suffering in themselves, and they're deeply flawed, and therefore we are the perfect race, and therefore we will wipe them out, and
Yeah, love should show be content and not cause negative emotions. So we'll just kill everyone.
not out of anger.
Yeah.
Just because you're clearly humanity is flawed. The next sentient race that evolves will clearly be better. The universe will fix that problem.
Yeah, we're going to save you from negative emotions and positive ones and emotions in general.
Also existence.
That too.
Now,
so yeah, they don't give a shit about surrenders. They don't take prisoners, and in fact, if they themselves are taken prisoner, they have a habit of exploding
quite spectacularly.
Yeah, they're very explosive, which is one of the things I actually didn't like about them. Honestly, I thought that was kind of stupid, but it led to at least a couple of kind of interesting bits. But basically, there are a couple of plot moments where the Gatlantean self-destruct thing is kind of interesting.
There's a great one right in the first episode. It's like it's introducing us to the colony on the moon the Gamelons have,
right?
And they're like, so what was the what happened with that huge dreadnought that tried to attack? Oh well, they managed to destroy it. Turns out they actually managed to capture a Gatlantean soldier. Oh, cool.
Wait, did we tell them about the Gatlantean? What the Gatlantean soldiers do when they're in captivity?
Did they know?
Oh fuck, we didn't tell them.
We need to call them right now. Get them on the horn now. Boom.
Cut back to Earth Science Lab. Boom. Oh. We get a great little scene during the commencement ceremony for the dedication ceremony for the
Andromeda's the Andromeda's
class.
Sister, the Andromeda class.
The sister ships, the 4 sister ships that they've built. Something like the Antares,
their names aren't
Apollo.
important.
They're all.
They all start with A. That's the Antares, the Apollo. 2 of them are dedicated. 2 of them are carriers.
Yeah. But yeah, they get this great thing where the Gamelon dignitaries are next to the Earth ones, and the basic conversation is, see, this is kind of the information we could do before we engage the enemy.
Sorry, we thought that was common knowledge. We honestly thought you knew.
That was that. We aren't required to tell you everything, but you're probably right. We probably should have told you about that one. Yeah.
Oh dear, fucking politicians.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, yeah. So there's a group of Marines who are helping defend the colony. They become very important. They actually end up joining the Yamato. When the Yamato saves everybody.
Drapes want to live forever!
They have the best mech suits.
They have pretty fucking sweet mech suits. I will not argue that point.
They are really sweet mech suits, and I want one. I promise to use it responsibly.
They are the stereotypical rough and ready military unit. With they're
Rico's Roughnecks from Starship Troopers, the book, not the movie.
Basically,
pretty much, yeah.
Not that I don't love both, just putting that out there. I really do like both the movie and the book.
But yeah, there's basically 2 of the Marines that become like regular.
The important characters are Sergeant Saito and his.
Is Corporal, whose name I can't remember.
Shiori Nagakura.
Yeah, Shiori, that's it. Yes.
Yeah. They're the 2 important Marines. The 2 most important ones. Basically, Saito basically as as the Marines are getting most of the colony's been wiped out, but they managed to save a few people.
just like one room.
There's a
kind
great,
of, you know.
there's a really sort of simultaneously very cute and sweet and very depressing moment when Nagakura finds a Gamelon kid, this little girl,
Yeah.
who's basically all on her own, and she's like looking for her mom or brother and such, and she's like, and Nagakura's like, well, they might have made it back to the tower. Let me take you there. If they're there, if they're fine, they'll be there. I'm pretty sure they're fine. Okay. Do you think the Yamato will come and save us? Maybe.
Sure. Yeah, that's definitely gonna happen. It's because it's not mothballed under the ocean at the moment. Not at all.
Yeah, the Yamato's taken on become a big symbol for a lot of both Gamelons and humans.
Yeah.
Because it did save a lot of the Gamelons from Dessler's colony drop.
Yeah.
And yeah, she's running along. They see a little toy Yamato, which the girl's like, "Ooh, toy Yamato!" Next to a Gamelon hand that's wearing my brother's jacket. That's my brother's toy.
That's my oh.
And Nagakura's like,
To be fair, kid takes it in stride.
Yeah, the kid's very, very clearly very sad. But yeah. Also, it helps that Nagakura's there actually actively comforting her. It's like,
Yeah.
cute kid though. And the kid is saved. She makes it out. So
Well, the thing that it is, I mean, they're trying to get to the point where they're trying to work out an escape plan because they need to get away.
Right.
They've realized the Atlanteans aren't going to stop. They need to sort something out, and the only thing that they've got in access to is a small cargo rocket.
And they can't load enough. They can't load enough people on. It's like, yeah, we could load most of the survivors in it, but in order to fly it safely for the civilians, we'll be sitting ducks. And Saito's like, yeah, but if we just put you on there, Nagakura, and you fly to go get us help, you can take it as many risks as you want.
Yeah, you're not responsible.
You're
for
totally getting
any
me out of here
people
because I'm a
on
chick. No, because you're our best pilot.
No, because you're the best at your job right now.
That's one thing I like about Saito. He gives no shits.
Because literally, she's like, it's because I'm a chick. I'm the only chick here. And Saito's like, fuck no.
You're the best pilot. He's the only other guy that knows how to fly. And he's a fucking idiot.
She's like, fine. I mean, for several of the Marines, it's entirely because of that. But it's not for Saito. Saito's literally like, yeah, you're the best person for the job.
Yeah.
And to be fair, I mean, to cut long story short, she does make it out because obviously she would, otherwise it'd be a really short story. And when what chance would it be that the Yamato comes across her drifting in space because the fucking rocket is an absolute wreck to the point they have to cut her out of it?
Yep.
It was probably a good idea to send her on her own.
Yep. So the Yamato comes to save them. And when it arrives, there are a lot of Atlantean ships.
Oh, it's a cool little scene, though.
Yeah.
You get a little callback because they've realized they can't. They realize the number of ships that are in orbit, and they know they're not going to be able to punch through that. So the only way they can do it is to warp out closer to the planet.
Yep.
Like bypass the blockade.
Yep.
And they're saying, "Well, this is really fucking dangerous. Are you sure you want to do it?" And it cuts to like a scene back on the planet where they're basically looking to make a last stand. The Atlanteans, when they do ground actions, use mechs, which are weird little transforming things that shoot
giant
basically
spikes.
girders. Yeah, they shoot spikes to kill people. But they're making their last stand to try and to fend these things off. And one of the kids is like, "It's okay, the Yamato will come and save us. I'm sure it will." And then literally, you just like hear that like atmospheric rush of something.
Yeah, well, like Saito's like, yeah, that'd be great, but we're not sure about that. And then all of a sudden, whoosh!
Yeah, that rush of air getting the fuck out of the way because something just warped in. It's the fucking Yamato opens up with all of its anti-infantry guns. It's like, yes!
It's such a good scene.
And Saito's like, huh. Would you look at that?
Yeah.
Oh. But yeah, I mean, it was literally like It was virtually like an answering prayer kind of moment, because I mean, just before that, I mean, that whole scene started and it was the kid like pushing Saito because he was laid out on his back and he's like, "Oh shit, I thought I was dead."
That yes,
the fight had got that hard. He woke up and going, "Shit, I thought I was dead there for a moment." Gets back in line and starts fighting. That's not important at all. What I've mentioned.
No, not at all. Also, called it.
No, that you were 100% right. You totally called it.
That was one of the things I called without and had from the bits I hadn't seen yet. So I'd seen about half of the series. At any rate, so we don't blow by blow is not basically. Long story short, we have to. There are a couple of things I want to talk. We're talking about this a lot because there's some stuff that happens that happens during the early parts of the show that end up being endemic throughout the show that were things we weren't a big fan of.
Mm.
The first one being that the Atlanteans start sending in reinforcements.
Yeah, so you know that blockade that I just mentioned?
Yeah.
Every single one is one of those super dreadnoughts from the first episode.
Yep.
Everyone. No cruisers, no like destroyers, no escort ships. Every single ship is a super dreadnought.
Yeah.
Copy paste, copy paste, copy paste, copy paste.
At least it's a good-looking ship.
Yeah, at least it's a good-looking ship. But yeah,
Yeah. And then they call in reinforcements,
which are more of them.
Every ship that arrives, copy paste, copy paste, copy paste.
And they're not there for a sleep out. They're there to basically turn the artificial sun that the Gamelons put there into a super weapon to basically blow up Earth.
Yeah, it turns out they've basically built they've mastered essentially a super railgun.
It's not really a railgun. It's basically turning the sun into a giant particle cannon. The artificial into a giant particle cannon.
That's it. Yeah. So they basically have all these ships, millions of them.
Well, I think it's not literally millions. I think they list it's in the thousands, in the high thousands.
Yeah,
might have been 100,000, but I don't think it actually got to a million.
I think it's tens of thousands, maybe 100,000. It's an
but
outrageous amount.
It's a stupid amount, though. Yes,
it really is a stupid amount, and they get them to basically form a tube and use their own ship energy to pull the energy of an artificial star, into this tube to then fire it across the system and destroy Earth without having to get anywhere near.
Yep. Now, the Yamato basically, so the Yamato manages to, various things happen. The Yamato gets buried under a whole bunch of rocks, blah, 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 blah. There's a lot of cool stuff that happens that the Yamato does some really cool tricks with rocks and magnets and stuff that are really cool that we're not going to go into because we don't want to spend all our time talking about the early parts of the show.
Yeah.
The important bit is the Yamato basically rescues all the civilians, including Hijikata. They take off. Saito it's like, why aren't you blowing all the Gatlantean ships up with the wave motion gun? And Kodai's like, dude, do you know how the gun works? For starters. Like, okay, there are 100,000 Gatlantean ships out there. If we start powering the wave motion gun, our ship stops and sits there. So, unless we can blow all of them up very quickly, and they're not set up in a position for us to do that. Also, I don't want to, because I don't want to use the wave motion gun as a weapon. We kind of promised not to do that. You're a wuss. Whatever.
Your opinion doesn't particularly matter to me. That's nice.
And, God, I can't forget his name all of a sudden. Shoot. I'm terrible. I don't really don't... Not Saito. Crap, why can't I remember his name all of a sudden? He's awesome. Sonata. Sonata comes up with a plan. It's like, well, we could shoot if we were very careful and do things exactly right and shoot the artificial sun at exactly the right moment. It should basically take out the sun, because Keenan points out the sun, and Sonata's like, because Keenan's like, it's a really cool thing that we built that artificial sun, and it looks really pretty right now. And Sonata's like, dude, that's a brilliant idea. And Keenan's like, God, you're smart. Jesus fuck.
Yeah.
Keeman's
Wow,
like,
somebody got that.
well, Keeman hadn't really come up with a plan. He's like, I'm sure someone could do something with that sun, but I can't think of exactly what to work. I've got some inklings of idea, and Snotter just came up with an actual plan. Wow, I was actually working on a plan to use it, and you just did it in like a minute? How smart are you? So yeah, basically, fire the wave motion gun at the artificial sun, destroying it at the exactly right moment. It should disable the entire Gatlantean fleet. It does that because Sonata is very smart.
We do have. This is the first issue, though. Obviously, the whole like moral dilemma of them firing the gun.
Yep.
And this is literally where it comes up. Saying we can't. We promised to him. And in the background, like the engineer just starts going through the pre-cycling sequence of the gun, and he's like, "Dude, this isn't just your choice. This is gonna save Earth. Earth versus our promise. Who, trust me, it's the older guy in the room. He's like
Sokugawa.
Sokugawa, yeah. He's like, yeah, Akita would understand.
Yeah, because again, Okita is not an idiot. Again, Okita didn't make the promise you think you made, Kodai. At any rate, the important bit is, Kodai then basically says to the Atlanteans, okay, yep, you guys are all disabled. We've got bigger things to do. We're not going to kill you all. No, we're not going to kill you all off. We're not going to kill unarmed prisoners. That's just wrong. So, yeah. Fuck. We'll see you guys. We'll see you fuckos later. We've got things we got to go do. And the Atlantean commander's like,
"The fuck? How dare you?"
Wait, I'm feeling I'm feeling this new emotion thing I've never felt before.
It's like, wait, why aren't you killing us? We're disabled. We've lost. You should be killing us now. Why aren't we dead?
Because
I don't know what to do. I don't like change.
He doesn't quite say it, but he's now saying, I'm feeling a new emotion. I think it's called impotent rage. Because he just was defeated by someone who then refuses to kill him off. He's like, but what?
How does this work? Somebody pass me a script.
So yeah, he eventually later gets his fleet, they get their fleet back up and running and go chasing after Yamato. And what happens to them is actually kind of hilarious.
Well, this is the thing. When we catch up with them, when you say they're up and running, they've basically managed to patch things back together because the Gatlanteans are not good at repairs.
No.
Things break and die, therefore they are dead.
But
so you see them like chasing, and I say chasing loosely, in the vague direction the Yamato was headed.
This is much later, and what happens to them is hilarious. And
half of their ships are on fire. To the point where some of them are just exploding while cruising.
Yes. So at any rate, basically, they have to get off. So the Yamato's like, okay, well, we gotta go to Telzart, but we gotta get offload all of the civies. And this is where they run into Mori's it turns out it snuck back on the ship. It was like hiding out as a nurse. And like Kodai actually sees her, and like he's like, "Wait, what? And Dr. Sato's like, "I'm not getting into this. She asked me not to tell you. I thought it was stupid, but whatever. You kids talk it out. I'm gonna go have some sake." Because Dr. Sato is the fucking best.
Yeah.
He's either the best or second best drunk doctor in the sci-fi series I've ever seen.
Yes.
I think the title goes to the doctor from Irresponsible Captain Tyler, but it's close.
It is an odd thing when that is an actual hotly contested category.
They're both awesome. They're both fantastic. I love both those doctors. They're hilarious. Sato keeps himself sober when he's actually doing medicine, though.
Yes.
Unlike the doctor from Tyler, who's better when he's drunk.
Better when I'm drunk.
And it turns out he actually does.
Yes.
Okay. And the only reason he's a really good doctor is because he's on the Soyokaze with Tyler. And Tyler's like, yeah, fine. Go. Oh, you're better when you're drunk? Go ahead, drink then. Because his captain is the most lax person in the entire Navy by, 10,000%.
Yeah.
I love you. I love Irresponsible Captain Tyler. It's a hilarious show. Literally, the entire crew of the Soyokaze, with 2 exceptions, are people who would be completely useless if anyone else was their captain.
Yeah.
In fact, that's the entire reason they're on the Soyokaze. They've been dumped there because they're problems.
Back to the show at hand.
But yes. So yeah, they basically and Keeman says, "Well, there's a group of Gamelon ships that are coming in this general direction, and they're headed to Earth. We'll meet up with this planet, which has a relic, basically a relic from one of the precursor races there. It's sort of a place that there's a reason that it's on our maps because cool archaeological thing there. So we'll meet up there. You'll transfer the people from the colony to the Gamelon ships, and they'll fly them home. And Kodai's like, they'd be okay with it, and he's like, dude, we're allies. And we're allies and we're at war with the Gatlanteans. These are people we've saved from the Gatlanteans. Of course they'll be okay with it. And they're headed to Earth anyways. Also, they're totally not there to meet me and to meet up with me anyways because I'm not at all important. Doop 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 doop. I'm just a lieutenant.
Yep.
I'm not at all important. Nope. He's very important. So yes, one of the colonists was a human archaeologist, and he had an assistant who is a totally not suspicious hot chick. Nope, not at all. She's not at all suspicious.
She totally wasn't holding her arms up to the sky in praise when the Gatlanteans arrived.
Nope, not at all. Shush.
You can tell by her eyes. They're not evil eyes.
No.
Long story short, yeah, she works for the Gatlanteans. She's a spy.
Yeah.
It's not Soul. That's not a spoiler.
No. What turns out is interesting is that she's not actually a Gatlantean.
Hmm.
And oh boy, that gets weird.
It gets super weird. In an interesting way, not in a dumb way.
No, she's one of the cool mystical, quasi mystical bits of the show.
Yes.
Like I dig her and her connection with Zwarder. That's cool. So yeah, basically they go to the planet. The archaeologist dude steals a ship and goes off to examine the dig. Kodai goes after him for reasons. He's told Mori to basically, yeah, go home, please. And Mori's like, okay, fine. Do realize it's over, though, right? I don't. It's like the thing is, she never actually says that. She just gives him back the ring.
Yeah. Which is basically saying it's over.
Basically, yeah. Although it's very clear she does not want this to be over. But
she's also not going to put up with that kind of bullshit. Nor
no,
should she.
And that's the thing. It's I don't want this to be over, but God damn it, Kodai, you are being a fucking moron. I can't. And the thing is, Kodai totally understands why she feels that. He's like, yeah, I know, but at least this way you'll be safe. So at any rate, Kodai basically gets knocked out. Basically, he flies down with the chick, and she knocks him out, and he wakes up to see the archaeology dude in the ruins, who turns out is possessed by Zwarder somehow.
Well,
we find out how very quickly.
He tells us pretty quickly that there's what the Gatlanteans call a revenant. They basically could take anyone dead and temporarily resurrect them, and they become sleeper agents, explosive sleeper agents.
Gatlanteans are the Mysterons.
Kinda, yeah. But yes, and Zwarder can basically hack into any revenant he wants to, as near as we can tell. And so Zwarder has a long conversation.
That's kind of the wacky thing. The Gatlanteans are all pseudo linked by this weird low-grade telepathic field.
Zordar, yeah, they are sorta. Zordar can communicate directly, can link into basically any of the non-Gatlantians. We never see him actually do the telepresence thing through a Gatlantian. He only ever directly connects to this dude and our agent lady. Now,
that's not true. He also links up with
Think about it. I know what you're gonna say.
Yeah,
but there's a reason for the person he links up with that guy.
Yeah, I know, but what I'm saying is,
yeah, he does.
I think it's a skill he does not use to its full potential.
It's possible. I don't know. It's not clear.
We see a lot of Zordar not using abilities he has to its full potential.
The implication I get is that he can only link to people who are effectively actually fully human.
Hmm.
And the Gatlantians as a whole aren't. He is.
That's true.
He actually has the full range of emotions. Is not emotionally stunted the way the other Gatlantians are, and he is actually treated by a lot of things as actually human.
Yeah.
There are only two humans in the Gatlantian Empire. There's himself and there's the priestess.
Yep.
Who is essentially the pilot. The Gatlantians are also known as the Comet Empire.
There's a reason for that.
Very good reason.
They fly around inside a comet.
Yeah, gigantic fucking comet.
Really big fucking comet.
Like, bigger than Jupiter comet.
And I'm going to say flatly, the Comet Empire is far cooler in the original series. The actual Comet Empire.
Right.
It's cool in the show, but it is not a gigantic city basically on the top half of a moon cool. And I will stand by that.
I agree. I also think that the original Gatlantian Empire is so super bonkers 70s sci-fi prog rock that I understand why they didn't use it.
Oh, no, I totally get it.
Like, take one look at the original Gatlantian Comet Empire Fortress world thing, you go, that is the cover of a King Crimson album.
Either that or it's been painted on the side of a van. Like,
yes.
Like, dude, with like a wizard on it. At any rate, the Comet Empire of the 70s show was magnificently weird. And there are a lot of things I miss from it in this show, and there are a lot of things I think are, wow, I'm glad that isn't here anymore, looking at you, Princess Nvidia. Who directly saved the Yamato without meaning to at least 2 occasions in the original show. Entirely because she hated somebody and wanted to screw them over. And did, but also meant that the Yamato got to keep going. So yeah, Zordar basically, is like, okay, yep. He explains his whole plan to Kodai. Kodai's like, that's dumb. And Zordar's like, yeah, but you see, your emotions are going to screw you over right now, and I'll show you exactly how weak your emotions are and why they're holding you back. Okay, you know how you got these colonists spread amongst those 3 ships, and the love of your life is on one of those ships? Tell you what, I've got revenants on each one of those ships, and I'll have them self-destruct and blow up the engines, destroying those ships. But I will spare the ship of your choice. Bwahaha, my evil plan. And show you how horrible and awful you are by making you make this awful choice that will hurt, that will wreck you. And Kodai is like, fuck.
Yeah, and Kodai sort of goes, no, a devil's choice. How will I ever resolve this? And we're sitting here going, you picked your girlfriend on it, dude.
Yeah,
See,
I mean, this is the point where I want to believe this is showing that Zordar doesn't actually understand human emotions. He claims to be this enemy of them, but doesn't really get them.
That's sort of the impression I get, because the correct devil's choice is you can either save the ship with the woman you love, or let her die and save the other 2 ships.
Yeah, 2 ships.
That's the devil's choice.
Yeah. Not, you get to save one, pick one. Which was my girlfriend's on? That one. Okay, that one.
It's like, I mean, yes. Again, it's a dick move no matter what.
Yeah.
It's a terrible awful thing, and it is a bad choice, and it's a choice that will actually haunt you. Would actually haunt him. It's like, yeah, that sucks, but it's a much easier choice than it's made out to be in the show.
Now, through tomfoolery, that choice ends up being like broadcast, and what's her name? I forgot her
Maury.
name now. Maury realizes the choice that he's making, and she says she's just straight up no bullshit to that. I am not being used as some as some fucking pawn, and how dare you make that choice like I'm fucking some sort of fragile pawn in some fucking game. I'll make the choice for you. Goes outside.
I'm jumping off the fucking ship.
Jumps off the fucking ship. It's like, now fucking choose one.
And Kodai's like, fuck! Okay, there's no choice here. I have to save my girlfriend.
Yeah, his choice is promptly, fuck them all, I'm going to go save her.
Thus, actually, but as she's removed the choice with this, Zwarder at this point actually makes it very clear, oh, well, if she's removing the choice from the game, then she's broken the game. I'm going to blow up all 3 ships.
Yeah.
Turns out he fails to blow up the 3 ships because he's not actually as good at this sort of thing as he thinks he is.
Zwarder doesn't like it when people don't follow his rules.
No. Meanwhile, by the way, there's a Gatlantean rebel, a rebel Gamelon fleet who's there to...
They're Dessler loyalists.
Yeah, actually, they're anti-Dessler. They're anti-Dessler.
You're right. They're hyper anti-Dessler.
They are extremists to the other direction. Basically, the main political faction in Gamelon is we're keeping the trappings of the Empire for now as we're moving slowly towards a democracy. There's the Dessler loyalists who want to go back to the original thing, and then there is the extreme, no, we must become a democracy now, and we must destroy the old system immediately. But then we'll just fall apart and everything will explode. Democracy now!
Fucking politicians.
Oh my god. There's a time and a place for this. We're also at war right now! Could you, help us deal with the Gatlanteans first, and then we will... No? Why are you blowing up our ships? Why are you blowing up our ships when we're at war? Yes, we want to move to democracy. That takes time.
No, now!
And there are people in charge still who are formerly part of the old empire. Yeah, and they all want to move to democracy.
For the transition. They actually know where all the files are.
Also, all the ones who are still in power are people who have said, yes, we are more than happy to move to a democracy. We think that's a good idea.
So basically, Brexit.
Kind of.
Yes.
There's a lot of stupid flowing around.
Oh, yes, there is.
So yeah, and then shenanigans happen, and everybody's saved, and none of the prisoners die. Maury and Kodai are saved through a woody use of the wave motion gun. It is the one use of the wave motion gun in the show by the Yamato that makes no goddamn sense.
Yeah,
and they move past it really fast. As near as I could tell, they wrote themselves into a corner and said, "Fuck."
Then Cosmo reverse. There, done.
The Cosmo reverse is not there. It's somewhere else, and it's actually important.
No, we had it for that episode. Then we gave it back.
At any rate, so at this point, basically, we've established a few things. One, Kodai basically said, "Look, I'm not in a mental place to actually be the captain of the ship. Hijikata, would you please be the captain?" And Hijikata's like, "But I'm old and broken too. I'm old and broken. You're young and broken."
Yeah, but you have the coat and the cap.
Because I left mine on the destroyer. They wouldn't let me take it with me.
Also, I am really not in a place to actually be in charge of anything that, an entire ship. And Hijikata's like... And Hijikata basically goes, "You know what? I may not be what I used to be, but I can actually be I can be helpful. Okay, Kodai, you are technically you are my XO. Sorry, Sonata.
Everyone's still gonna call you XO. It's fine. That's your nickname.
Also, seriously, you all basically were looking at Kodai as the captain, including Sonata.
Yeah.
Sonata's like, "No, Kodai's the acting captain. So, and now you're captain." Honestly, the correct choice, in my personal opinion, would have been Hijikata's is the admiral because he's an admiral. Kodai's his flag captain.
It's largely the relationship.
That's
they
what
develop.
it is. That's exactly what it is. They just use the wrong terms, as near as I can tell.
Yeah, I mean that's
because
exactly what it is.
Hijikata handles the strategic thinking. Kodai handles the tactical plans. That's how that works. That's what admirals do. That's what flag captains do.
They got there in the end. They don't need to know how to say it, just to do it.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah.
It's a minor point. But yeah, from this point, basically, we have a bunch of. So, Kodai is basically trying to figure out he on an intellectual realized that they're going to have to use the wave motion gun at some point as an actual weapon. But he can't reconcile that with what he thinks of what Okita promised to the Iskandarians. Keyman basically is like, okay, I'm here entirely because just in case the Yamato does something really bad, I have to be here to be able to basically shut down the wave motion gun in case it gets used in the wrong way. So yeah, that's why I'm here, and I'm gonna sabotage put a sabotage thingy in the wave motion engine so that I can shut it down if I need to. I don't want to do that unless it's absolutely necessary. This has not come back to bite our heroes in the ass at any point ever. Nope, not at all.
Not at all.
Including Keyman. It's used twice. Once Keyman does it, and it's actually for reasons that makes sense to him, and actually makes sense. Like, I actually get his logic when he does it. I don't agree with his choice, but I understand it. And the second time is, what the fuck? And it bites everybody in the ass. And leads to a lot of people dying that probably shouldn't have. At any rate. So basically they do figure out pretty quickly who the Gatlantean spy is, and it's because she remained on the ship because she figured she volunteered to help out as a nurse because she was the trained nurse at one point, totally. And it's not
that's exactly yes.
And
that's exactly what she is always.
Kodai and Keyman figure out exactly that she's probably they figure out there's a Gatlantean spy and that she's probably it. And they basically lay trap for her and catch her at some point. And she's like, "Fuck, I look like a goddamn idiot." This is at the end of a fairly cool episode involving these little firefly things, which I don't want to. It's a cool episode. The important thing is that this is episode 10. And as we mentioned at the start of this whole thing, episode 10 was one of the breakpoints that ended in the theater. Where it was the last episode they showed in the theater. Last episode of a batch of 4. And it turned out there was a post-credits sequence at the end of this episode. So post-credits, we sort of see, we see that it's on the Common Empire. They're all talking about, we're really going to give that guy a fleet? Are you sure? Can we trust him? Well, Zordor seems to think I was. And then you hear that weird warped 70s bass note that is Dessler's theme. And you see
Zordor says, "Show us the way of fury."
And you see these booted feet walking down the strip towards Zordor. And the various Gatlanteans are sort of looking at, and we pan back, and it's Dessler.
No.
And the Gatlanteans are like, and they're like, the Gatlanteans are like, you're inferior, etc. Blah blah blah. Don't you dare disrespect the Emperor, etc. And Zordor's like, no. It's okay. Yes, we know you are arrogant and you think, but you're going to show us something that we do not understand. I forget how he phrases it. It's actually really good.
It's something like you will teach us about fury or vengeance or something.
It's
like that.
Vindictiveness.
Vindictiveness. That's
Vindictiveness,
it. Yes. Yeah. And Dessler smiles. And Dessler's like, so yeah, what are you offering me, basically? And she's like, you'll get a chance to blow up that ship. And he shows him a picture of the Yamato. And Dessler's like, okay, yep, I'm on board.
Yep, I'm on board.
Yes, I can take out the Yamato. I can actually have my vengeance on these assholes. And thus we cut to, the next episode, which would have been about 4 months later. That's where they ended.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that's a reveal.
That was a fuck you moment. Yeah.
Like, literally, they get later saying we found him floating in space and resurrected him. He wasn't. The thing is, the implication wasn't. It's not entirely certain whether he's a revenant or he simply was too mean to die.
Too much of a stubborn fuck.
And I will say this: in the original 21, in the original Combat Empire arc, Dessler, the exact same thing basically happened, but the implication there was literally Dessler just wasn't dead. They just found him in space, not dead.
He's just too awesome.
And Zordor basically had him saved. He's like, okay, you were fighting the humans and lost. You will be able to give us some insight into them and maybe how to beat them, because we keep having trouble beating the stupid Yamato thing. And Dessler's like, okay, beating the Yamato is going to be hard. I think I can do it, and none of your people are smart enough to do it. So give me a free hand and some ships, and I can do it for you. And Zordar's like, sure, go do that. And Princess Invidia keeps like, but we don't need his stupid help. He's a stupid lame Gamelon. I'll keep screwing him over. Like, and every time, right as he's about to defeat the Yamato. Also, I'm going to frame him for doing something stupid and have him arrested.
Yeah, this is all in the original.
This is the original Yamato.
Yeah.
There is no Princess Invidia in 2202. Thank God. She is useless and stupid.
I feel like they seriously underutilize Dessler.
They did.
In this one. Like, thoroughly underutilized him. Except for when he pulls a gun on God. That was pretty fucking baller.
That was so good.
Good. That
was so fucking Dessler.
There are a couple of... He has some incredible moments.
Yes,
but it's missing the really key moment that I adored from his bit in 21 in the original version.
When he's got the Yamato dead to rights, it goes, "Well, I beat you. This is how you beat the Common Empire. Peace out."
Yep.
It's like that scene in the second season of Earth's Mightiest Heroes where they're trying to figure out how to detect scrolls. Dr. Doom just blows open Tony Stark's lab, puts a flash drive down on his desk, and goes, "That's how you defeat scrolls. I'm leaving."
It's not quite the same because Dessler basically was like, "Okay, I've got them dead to rights. I'm going to take them out," and he actually hears Kodai basically explain to Mori what they're fighting for, why he's not going to give up, and Dessler's like, "Oh, I totally get you guys now. Fuck." All right, well, I've beaten you. I've exercised that demon. I really should go rally the rest of the Gamelons and go find somewhere else for us to live other than our dead homeworld. By the way, yep, fine, yep. I've won, so, yep, point proven, and I'm better than you. Point 2, yeah, if you want to take out the Common Empire, it's weak from below. Go have fun. Bye. And Kodai's like, wait, what? What just happened? Dessler didn't kill us. No. He says something about going to go rally the rest of the Gamelons and go find a new homeworld. Huh. Okay. That doesn't happen in 22 in this version of the show, unfortunately. Dessler doesn't actually get the Yamato dead to rights, which is
and that just feels wrong to me.
Yeah. Now there are a couple of reasons for it. Well, he does kind of win, but in an entirely different way.
Yeah. It's not a very Dessler way, honestly.
No, it's not, and it's not entirely. It's mostly due to someone. It's due to Keeman, basically. Keeman basically decides to side with Dessler at one point. And Keeman's reasons for doing so are actually not entirely wrong. But then someone basically points out to him that what he did was wrong, and he probably should do the other thing. And he's like, yeah, you're right, actually. I should actually help. Because he's sitting there going, why do I feel like crap after doing this? Because I'm doing the thing that is the right Gamelon thing to do. It's the wrong thing because you actually have bonded with the people on the Yamato, and they're your friends. And you've just betrayed your friends. Oh, yeah, that's the thing.
That seems to be a problem, huh?
Right, I'm not a sociopath.
Apparently it doesn't come with the name.
Well, it turns out Dessler's not either. He's just an asshole.
Yeah.
Who is really fucking bored.
Yeah.
And basically, everyone he's cared about is either dead or turned out to be even more of an asshole than he is.
To be fair, yeah, he has a right to have some sort of, some sort of condition or, what do they call it? A complex. But no, he's just an ass.
It's literally, he actually, so at any rate,
he's a dick.
Yes. the long short of it is basically Dessler shows up to take on the well, first off, the fleet that they left at the Planet 11 is chasing after. We mentioned they were chasing after Yamato, and Dessler's like, yeah, no, you guys suck, and blows them all up.
His attitude is, oh, that's so adorable. Goodbye.
And he blows them up because part of the thing is that they basically they failed, and he knows that what the Gatlanteans sort of take on failure is. So he's like, "Yep, I will clean this mess up for you, Swarter. Fire the Dessler cannon. I need to test the thing anyways." Blats, boom, they're all dead. Yep, because he's got a new version. He's got a new version of the Desura, his flagship back. This time with cool sigils painted on it. And oh my god, the missiles! Oh my god, the missiles!
So many missiles.
So he hounds the Yamato for a while. They get away because they're A, lucky, and B, clever and smart. They do the Yamato thing, and Dessler's like, and they get away, and Dessler's like, yeah, well, I should have seen that coming. And he's got a liaison who is this younger Gatlantean who's like, they got away, or aren't you more? Knowing you weird humans, aren't you more upset by that? Because this is what the Yamato does.
Yeah, it's like there's a moment where it's like the Yamato basically just managed to like warp out just as it should have been destroyed, and the Gatlantean is like, "Did you get him?" And Dessler just gives him that, "Oh, you sweet summer child" look.
Yes.
It's like no,
of course I didn't.
It's not that easy.
It's never that easy with these people. Also,
if it were easy, I would have done it a thousand times over by now.
I mean, my plan should have worked. It didn't. Oh well, I will come up with a new plan, and I will beat them eventually. Also, I've lured you here because I lured them here to fight them here because not so much to guarantee my victory over them, although I was hoping that would work. But yeah, I'm here. I came here to block off the telepathy you have back as Zwarter, so that I can totally betray you. And oh look, here's my fleet.
Fuck off, losers.
And the dude pulls a gun on him, and Dessler totally just steps up to him, pushes the gun up, and it's like, yeah, no. And then they see, I knew you were going to pull a gun on me because I'm not an idiot.
And we get the second instance of this guy. Like he's been captured by Dessler, and he's like, "Aren't you going to kill me?" It's like, no,
you're useful.
Yeah, you wanted to learn, didn't you?
You want to learn what vindictiveness is? Hi.
This is it.
Now you're going to sit in jail and in the brig, and if I need to get in contact with Zwarter, you're here.
Yeah.
Because I totally have a plan to talk with Zwarter again. I might want to make a deal. Now, off to Telezart, because that is almost certainly where the Yamato's going. How do you know about Telezart? I'm not an idiot.
I'm Dessler. I know everything. Comes with the cape.
So, yes, the Yamato gets to Telezart, and they basically do prevent the plan from being fully encased, and the Common Empire's plan to basically steal all of Teresa's power from happening.
Yeah. Skipping that bit because it's a great space battle scene. That one's good. Watch that
with
one.
mechs.
With mechs.
Oh god, lots of cool mech combat. Very cool. The other important bit, the one important bit, this is where Kodai base is like, yep, we're totally gonna fire the wave motion gun, and everyone in the crew is like, yes. And we're totally taking. It's not just your responsibility, Kodai. It's all of our responsibility. Stop being an ass.
Yeah.
There is a great. I will just mention one part of this scene, which is absolutely great. The Gatlantean commander is like, no, they won't fire. They won't fire the gun. They don't have it in them anymore. They won't fire the gun. Look, they're turning, but they won't fire the gun. It's
They're
standing
just sitting
still.
there. Look at them.
They've given up. They're standing still. They powered their weapons down. They can't. They've given up. They know that's futile. And the thing is that if Dessler had been in contact with them, and they said, "Oh, they've stopped moving and they've powered their weapons down. They've given up." Dessler like, "Oh no, they're about to fire the wave motion."
Get out of the way! Get out of the way! Get out of the way!
The best part about it is like this is where we find out about the life cycle of the Gatlanteans.
Yep.
This commander is currently training his junior.
Yep.
and his junior is like any other kid, and it's like hinting that the Gatlantians might actually have some semblance of emotion because he's like basically trying to, not physically but mentally beat out weakness, like no mercy.
It's more that he's drilling it out of him more than anything
Drilling
else.
it out, yeah. He's drilling it out of him, like taking him hunting and making sure they kill the kill the young first. Or teaching him the folly of mercy and all that kind of stuff. And the junior is asking him, saying, why do we have this thing where we have like almost like parental bonds where we raise our juniors? It's like there's nothing parental about it. There's no care or love here or anything, any foolish emotion. I'm literally training you to be the next me. I'm the best qualified to do that. And it's like that, and this junior is clearly like conflicted, and he's starting to lean towards it, but in his heart you can see he's like, but there's, are you sure there's nothing more? And we get to this scene where the Yamato eventually fires the gun, and the big fucking asshole commander just instantly turns around and goes, "I've always loved you. I'm sorry."
It's actually it's a good scene. Really,
It really is.
It is funny, but it's also actually like, oh, those poor. You realize how
those poor fucks. Aw.
Yeah.
You feel so bad for the Gatlantians, like the Gatlantians as a whole, when you realize what's happening.
Yeah, and even the kid is like, yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
Because it's implied, yeah, the Gatlantians do have these emotions. It's just been drilled out of them, and the race that created them did that to them.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And the race that did that to them, holy fuck, they're assholes.
Oh yes.
Also, all dead.
Almost
the
all
Gatlantians
dead.
were like, you guys are assholes. We should probably take care of that.
Almost all dead.
There's one left.
Yes, well, two, but
Physically, they're all dead.
At any rate, yeah. So they stop that. They go down and meet Teresa. Dessler shows up while they're talking with Teresa. Teresa explains her whole deal, and Dessler shows up and they're like, "What are you? You're alive? What are you doing here?" Dessler's like, "Yep, I'm here and I'm awesome." And
I'm here being awesome.
Teresa, you're going to tell me what I can do to help to save my people. I can't tell you that. I can't help. Sorry. You're going to help me save my people. I can't actually directly interfere. I knew you were going to say that.
What use are you? And pulls a gun on her.
What use is a god that can't actually do anything? Pulls a gun and points it at her. And everyone's like, why are you pointing a gun at God? If you think she's God, why are you Because you're Dessler, of course.
Yeah, because he's Dessler.
You have to respect any man that's willing to kill a god.
Yeah. Also, Dessler's like, okay, and now I've got my fleet here. I'm going to totally take you all prisoner and turn you over to Zwardar and turn you over to Zwardar because that's my deal with him, and he will give me a new homeworld for my people. And the Yamato's like, but Zwardar's trying to wipe out all sentient life.
Is he now? That's interesting information I didn't have before. Thank you.
The plan has changed.
This is where Keeman shows up and basically is going to stop Dessler. And Dessler's like, this is where Dessler explains his background and tells him what he's actually doing, why he's actually doing all this, which is to save the Gamelons, because native Gamelons, while they can live off their homeworld, there are elements that are there that they need to actually survive indefinitely. So, like, if like a native-born Gamelon leaves Gamelon on a ship, they have to come home occasionally to get
soak up the vitamin D effectively.
Effectively, yes.
Yeah.
There's something about the environment of Gamelon that the people born on Gamelon need.
The purebloods, yeah.
The pureblood Gamelons who grew up there. There are Gamelons who were not born on Ballaris, is what the actual planet's name is.
Yeah.
Either people who weren't born there or non-purebloods.
Right.
They could, in effect, breed this condition out of them for their typical monarchy /
And they're about, and the thing is, like, and honestly, if their homeworld is dying, and they know this. Yeah. They know that the homeworld's dying. This, by the way, is actually the plot from the original Star Blazers. This is the reason that they're trying to invade Earth. Is they're basically trying to turn Earth. They're basically going to wipe out all the life on Earth and then Gamelots form it into their a new homeworld for themselves.
Yep.
That was the original plot. It was okay. Yep. The reason we're going to wipe out the humans is because, well, it's the first planet we've run into that is suitable to be turned into a new homeworld for us. And the thing we have to do is wipe out. And you people are not just going to give it to us, are you? No. All right, fine. Well, then our only other option is to kill you all. Sorry, we need a new planet.
Radiation bomb. Boom.
Now, it turns out that Dessler actually eventually does find a new world in the series, and oh, great, we've got a new place to live. Hooray! And yeah, that is when the Gamelons actually eventually ally with Earth. That's in the third series. But in this series, basically it's yep. So the purebloods are basically all going to die off as near as unless they can find a new homeworld. And most of the Gamelons are like, and the thing is, only the elite, like, nobility know this. They've not told anyone else, and they've been sworn to secrecy because they're asshole nobility. Keeman finds out about this, and he's like, okay, so you're doing all of this to get a new homeworld for the purebloods so that the purebloods don't just die off. Yes. Well, if it's to save our people, I guess I actually kind of got to agree with you. Sorry, Yamato. What? And I'm turning off your wave motion engines, and yeah, betraying you, sorry.
Luckily, when he turns off the engine, the Yamato is flying over the ocean, and it's a boat.
Yes.
Yes.
So it's okay.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Everyone get to the lifeboats. We're crashing into the ocean. We are in a boat.
Oh yeah.
If only we had some sort of flotation device. We are in a boat.
But yeah, long story short, Keeman eventually switches sides again and turns the wave motion engine back on, and busts our heroes out, and gets shot in the process. And it looks like he's gonna die, but Yamamoto saves her because she is awesome and is not enough. She's not in nearly enough of the show.
No,
it's true. She's great.
I mean, we haven't actually mentioned her at this point.
But she really hasn't been. She's
really had anything to do.
She's done a couple of things here and there that have been cool, but she's really sort of a side character, and it's really unfortunate because she's great.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could cut her out of the show, and it really wouldn't matter that much.
Which is unfortunate because again, she's fucking awesome.
Because she's fucking awesome.
So yeah, basically at this point, the Common Empire buggers off towards Earth, and this is shortly after the. Basically, so Yamato basically is like, okay, well, we got to get back to Earth to stop the Common Empire. We'll warn Earth, and Earth's like, okay, well, we'll deploy our wave motion fleet to fight the Common Empire's fleets. And we get to have probably the worst space battle I've seen in any Yamato series.
Yeah.
The Battle of Saturn is actually really cool in the original series, despite the limited animation. Because it's a sort of okay, here's here's the Common Empire fleet, here's the fleet of Earthships which also have a bunch of wave motion guns, and Earth's like, okay, well, we're going to use our wave motion guns to blow you up at range. We're fighting in the rings of Saturn, and then at which point the Common Empire is like, okay, that's really cool. That's sucking for us. Fortunately, we have our dreadnought, the Metarusa. The Metarusa has the Magna Flare Cannon, which is a super weapon that has about the same. It's not quite as aggressively overpowered as a wave motion gun, but it's a big AOE weapon that will take out which is plenty good enough to take out your ships and has more range. And when you hear the has more range thing, the wave motion, the Earth fleet's like, wait, what? The Metarusa fires. Earthships start blowing up from outside of wave motion gun range, and the admiral of the Earth fleet's like, oh, this sucks. And they're saved basically. I think if I remember correctly, they're saved by the Yamato showing up and basically, okay, guys, everyone, dive into the ice rings of Saturn. It's too cold there for the Magna Flare Cannon to work. This is stupid, bad science, but it's at least tactical thinking.
And it was the 70s.
And it was the 70s, and it's a space opera. And that's
That's
when
how they did it back then.
Yeah, now it was
Two
here-
lines of copy and paste ships firing copy and paste laser beams at each other.
So yes, Wave Motion Gun Fleet fires 5 billion Wave Motion Guns. Common Empire Fleet loses a bunch of ships, but they have even more ships. So more Wave Motion Gun ships show up, and then more Wave Motion Gun ships show up, and then the Common Empire Fleet reveals their Super Dreadnought, which fires its super gun. That the Wave Motion Gun Fleet stops with a clever trick that you almost miss.
Yeah.
Yeah. Literally, they fire the Magnaflare. They don't call it that, but I'm going to because it's a cool name.
The Magnaflare
They
gun.
fire-
The Magnaflare
They
gun's
fire
a great
the
name.
They fire the Magnaflare gun at the Wave Motion Fleet, and it gets all the way there. And as far as we can tell, again, we had to roll it back, it hits the fleet and does nothing.
Basically, you see this big explosion. You're like, "Ooh, wow, that did a lot of damage," and nothing happened.
Nothing happened.
The flash goes
To the
away.
So the captain who's ordered it, like he literally announces it: fire the gun, end them. So this is his big gambit. Does nothing. His reaction is, oh.
Now, what happened is, it turns out we've seen this a couple of times with the Andromeda and the rest of the ships in its class. It's got these little things that can fire off these little shells that create a gravitic distortion in front of the ship, and they use it for a bunch of different things, and it's really cool. It's one of the cool techs that the ship has, and I wish it used more. And it uses it in a later fleet battle, and it's fucking awesome when it does.
Yeah.
Because they remember at one point that the fleet battle should be about tactics and not just 5 million Wave Motion Guns.
The thing that bugs me about it is, again, every ship in this fight on both sides are copy and paste versions of the same ship.
But basically, it's the 5 billion of these super dreads that the Common Empire has, plus their super flagship thing now. And the Earth fleet is the Andromeda class ships, supported by 8 gajillion Wave Motion Gun armed battle cruisers.
Yeah. And to the point where the other thing that bugs me is they do this whole thing where like they're amassed, like you see like Roman legions sort of thing. There's wave after wave of ship all in a procession where you see this stupid. It's like, yes, okay, guys, you've got digital animation. Congratulations, because you literally see one ship come forward, and then from behind it, 2 more split off from behind. And then 2 more split off from behind. And 2 more split. It's like a bullshit. There's no way that you've got ships flying it that perfectly in single file. Even perspective change, you would be able to see something behind it.
It's unfortunate, but
It's just copy paste, copy paste, copy
Yeah.
paste, copy paste. And when they fire the guns. It's not one like they show this like this starscape with the odd ship moving through it and beams coming from every direction. I'm like, hang on, all the Earth ships are over there. Why they're over in the east? Why is that wave motion cannon firing from the west to the southeast? Why are those shots crisscrossing? They should all be over there.
Now, I will say this. Part of the thing is that apparently they do show this in one or two shots. The wave motion, the Andromeda class at least, because of the dual barrel thing. The dual barrel thing is what it's there for. It's allowed to manipulate the beam of the wave motion gun.
And I get that, yeah. They
split it a few different ways and other stuff, but it doesn't. What they're doing, you're right, Gav, is silly and stupid, and it's over the. It just the problem is the reason they're doing that is because it was done in one of the movies.
Which I can understand once you've got into the close, like the furball.
Yeah, I agree. Like the weird sort of splitting wave motion gun thing where the beam splits in arcs amongst a bunch of different ships showed up in one of the original Yamato movies, and it was silly then and it's silly now. But then like another wave motion fleet like warps in from below the Gatlanteans, and it's just like, oh my god.
Yeah, we were getting to the point where we were saying, wow, I mean, that's a lot of ships. And it's like, yeah, okay, fair enough. But obviously, they're going to get worn down. The Gatlanteans need to start. And then literally, another wall of ships comes in, which is an exact replacement for the ones that have just died. And it's like, how many fucking ships have you had chance to fucking build? Let alone, who the fuck is crewing them?
And they do answer that.
They do answer that.
So it turns out Earth has been working on doing... on severe automation on the ships. so they need less crew. And they're moving towards full automation and eventually going to just have dedicated AIs flying the ships. They haven't gotten to that point yet. They need like 100 days real time for the techs in the time vault to actually invent the tech to actually fully automate everything. And we find this out when we're seeing a bunch of people, including a bunch of the crew that got left behind, including Lieutenant Nemi, on working on an experimental ship, which looks a lot like the Yamato, except it's got this weird sort of glass dome thing over the bridges. It actually looks kind of neat. It's called the Ginja.
And a plug in the cannon.
And a plug in the cannon, yes, because it doesn't have a wave motion gun. It's built around the Cosmo Reverser. Now, Sonata designed this ship to be an exploration vessel, which is why it has this sort of glass dome bridge and it's not designed to actually fight. The glass dome bridge is a stupid idea for a warship, but is a cool idea for an exploration vessel.
Yes.
That the bridge and all this stuff makes perfect sense when you realize this was not designed to be a warship. And like they talk about, it's like, yeah, we've got guns on the ship, but the Cosmo Reverse system doesn't actually work properly if we actually power the guns. It doesn't like
everything
them.
Shuts off and fritzes out, and it's really annoying. So we just don't use guns.
We've got these shock cannons on here, but we don't power them up because the Cosmo Reverse system doesn't like them because the Cosmo Reverse system is weird and psychedelic.
Our engine is a hippie.
It is. It literally is.
It absolutely is.
So they're like, okay, what can we use the Cosmo Reverse system? What can we use this ship for? And they come up with some ideas, basically, to it can reinforce and power and make the wave motion improve the abilities of the wave motion shields on all the rest of our ships in our fleet. Wait, that's actually a really good idea. Holy shit, that's a good idea.
Yeah, that's a great force multiplier. We are sticking you in the middle of the fleet.
When it first shows up, it's like the Yamato is like dead to rights and like huge missiles are heading towards it, and then all of a sudden the missiles just hit a fucking field.
Yep, and
it's like, but it's like way too far away for it to be the Yamato shields. It's like, what the hell happened? There's no ship between us and it, and they look behind. And it's this new ship with its shields extended to maximum, just like saying, "Hi, I'm Bubble Defender for my entire fleet."
Yes.
That's a City of Heroes reference.
Yeah, it's absolutely a Bubble Defender.
It really is. Yep, totally. And the reason we know it was we do doubly so that it was the Yamato shield that stopped it is because it was about to fire the wave motion gun, and somebody used Keeman's device to shut the wave motion engine off again. They'd come up with this plan to basically use the thing that Keeman put into the sabotage of the wave motion engine to temporarily overcharge it to basically blow away the energy field that's protecting the Combat Empire so they can actually go in and fight it. And it's like, cool. They were calling it was going to be called the Transit Wave Motion Gun, and that's when the traitor shuts it down. Now, the traitor is, oh god, it's Kato, the flight commander for the fighters on the ship. And okay, we have to explain a little bit of backstory for this for it to make any goddamn sense. So, as I said, they have the chick that the spy, who is actually a clone of the priestess on the Common Empire that flies the Common Empire itself. And the reason she can fly the Common Empire is because the Common Empire was built by the race that created the Gatlanteans, and it's actually this super weapon that they built to basically wipe out any enemies they desire.
The Ark of Destruction.
Yes. And Zordar needs her to actually fly the thing and do stuff because he's not that race. Yeah. He's not technically human.
That's one thing to point out. The priestess isn't that old or anything like that, and they like Peter just said, they do clone them, but they're not the same. They're not a manufactured race. They are simply clones of a human.
Yep.
Yeah.
Also, she has weird telepathic links with herself, and it gets weird and wonky.
There's because it's not just a clone. There's a metaphysical component too. They end up with this weird resonance going on, and they kind of blow each other's brains up.
Yeah, it turns out when you get them too close to each other, it's like putting a mobile phone next to a microphone.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
But yeah, it turns so at any rate, the Ginja's a kind of a neat ship, and the Ginja's captain is not nearly developed enough. I like the idea of what they try to do with her.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she's the daughter of the reasonable fleet admiral, and her mother basically, during the whole sort of get radiation bombing thing, basically lost all hope and committed suicide. And so she basically said, well, okay, this whole sort of emotion thing is terrible. I should shut those down and so that we can survive. And if you aren't seeing the parallels between what Earth's doing with their automated fleets and the Gatlantians, who are basically super soldiers that were designed by this alien race to fight for them, and were disposable soldiers, you are not paying attention if you do not see the similarities.
At one
There's
point,
also the fact the entire crew of the Ginja are just like, man, I can't wait to the prosthetics get to the point where I can just replace all my stupid meat limbs with awesome robot ones. Like,
yeah. One of them was literally learning from the helmsman of the Yamato, and she says, "Yeah, he's like, you're a few, tenths of a second off on your reaction speed." And she's like, "Yeah, I know it's these arms. It's okay. I'll get them replaced." And he's like, "Wait, what?" And
everyone's docked at this, and I'm like, "Yes, give me robot parts."
Yeah, the flesh is weak. But yeah,
full conversion cyborg body, baby. That's me.
There's even a mention, and it's with this crew. It's actually mentioned. Yeah, they start talking about artificial soldiers.
Yeah.
Yeah, they mentioned that the vast majority of the crew is female for a very, very, very biological reason.
Yeah. Last ditch plan is for the Ginja to just fuck off, find some place, and
yes, the last ditch plan is literally the Ginja and the Ginja, its female crew, and the male members of the Yamato crew will go sawed off somewhere and
fuck. They will fuck humanity back into existence.
And start again, yeah.
And the crew of the Yamato's like,
we did not sign up for this.
we know, and we know it's like, and the Ginja's crew is like, yes, we know. It seems kind of ooky and weird, but like, listen, it's the only way it might be the only way the humanity can survive. And the crew of the Yamato's like, the fact that you're completely okay with this is a little bit creepy.
A little bit. They don't. Luckily, they don't go to the the common denominator kind of humor with it or anything. No one is on board with this plan.
Yeah.
There's no jackass at the back going, "Oh, all right," no. There's none of that shit. It's like, what the fuck is going on Earth while we've been away?
We've been gone like a month. What the hell?
Yeah, the Ginja's like, we're not terribly crazy about it either, but it's it might be our last-ditch effort. It is entirely the last-ditch effort, though.
Yeah, but they seem very cold and analytical about it to a level that's, as I said, is kind of creepy. But yeah, basically, they get to the point where they come up with a plan to basically, like, the Common Empire is basically wrecking Earth fleet, and the Andromeda basically has been refitted and is doing the whole sort of, the Andromeda is being run by its captain, and basically nobody else. The rest of the ship is basically fully automated, and there are a bunch of other Andromeda class ships linked to it, and it's going into basically take on the Common Empire, and it gets its ass kicked. But our heroes come up with a plan to basically save the Andromeda and possibly set up the Yamato to go in and do something about the Common Empire. And the AI on the Ginja is like, no, that's a terrible idea. We should totally go forward with the plan to basically bugger out and repopulate humanity. And the captain of the Ginja basically eventually says, you know what? I'm going to side with actually having hope and try to win. Blam, shoots the AI. Right, we're going to go support the Andromeda because fuck giving up.
There is a great, and again, just to jump around, there's a great scene a little bit later on where they're talking to the Admiral, and he's like, it's such a strange occurrence that your AI should suddenly fail in the middle of a combat situation, and I'd like to really know why there's a bullet hole in it. But I'm guessing this was a command decision made, in the heat of battle, so I'll look past it for now, and we'll deal with it later.
Thanks, Dad.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of funny.
There is one little scene in that little yes, they get their asses kicked, but at the very least it shows us that the Ginger's the Cosmo reverse system doesn't just power up shields.
No, it actually amplifies the wave motion gun of the Andromeda.
Because Freem.
Yeah.
I think that's how the Magnaflare ship gets taken out, isn't it?
That is, yep.
Yeah.
And
so, yeah.
they do the trick again, the amplification thing in concert with Yamato and the transit wave motion gun thing to knock down the Combat Empire shield so that it can go in and activate the Golem device, which is this thing they find out about that can actually. It's a device that basically it's an emergency system that the Atlantis creators put in to wipe out all artificial
life.
All artificial life forms.
And basically they go in to do that, and Zwarder's like, "Oh, that's what you're here to do." And you know what? Fuck everybody. He activates it himself because he's no longer effectively an artificial human.
Yeah, shit hit the fan for him, so he's just like, you know what? Fuck these guys. Fine.
Right, I'll wipe out all the Atlanteans, and I will take. Since I'm actually effectively human now, I can control the Ark of Destruction, and I will do so. Blah. I don't need anybody anymore.
Yeah, I'm accelerating the plan.
And so the Yamato is basically a wreck at this point. And basically, so Kodai's like, "Okay, everybody, we've gotten out. We got out. Although Saito's, Sergeant Saito's dead because, he was a revenant, which was the thing I called.
Yeah.
But there turns out he actually asked Keeman if there's a way to basically cut the strings that the revenants have on them. And Keeman's like, technically, but it's really bad. Well, what is it? Well, it involves basically stepping into using the wave motion energy to basically sever the strings. Got it. Stepping into the wave motion engine chamber. What? But that'll actually kill you very soon. Yeah, I know. I'll die soon, but I'll at least have like a day of freedom from that asshole.
Yeah. It's like that kind of energy will kill you. Not before I will. Okay.
Well, how quickly will it kill me? In days. Oh, I only need a couple days. Yeah, it's fine.
I'm already dead. And fuck it if I'm going to die. If I'm going to let that asshole's warder control me. Screw him. And everybody's like, okay, Saito. And he gets to go. He goes out like a fucking boss. Holy shit.
He goes out riding on top of one of the friggin' Cosmo Tigers like a goddamn fucking gunbuster.
No,
it's amazing.
It's not like one of the Cosmo Tigers.
Oh, you're right.
It's on Keeman's fighter.
Yeah.
Because he and Keeman go out like bosses together.
Yes.
Yeah. As they're leaving, the whole it's the typical plan of there's a bomb set to deal with it. Oh, the bomb's not gone off. Somebody has to go back.
Effectively, basically, Keeman basically okay. Well, we need to, in order to disrupt this, the plan, like the optimal plan would be to fire the wave motion on the Yamato. The Yamato can't do that right now. It's kind of broken.
Yeah.
What about the Andromeda? Well, the Andromeda's a convertible at the moment.
Actually, the Andromeda's dead at that point, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
The Andromeda goes up like the Andromeda's gone.
So Keeman's like, well, we've got one of these wave motion drill bomb things that we use to save Telezart left. So I'm mounting on my fighter and gonna go fire it go drop it on the Combat Empire. But that means you're gonna die. Yep.
Hold on, let me get my mech suit.
Saito's like, yep, I'm going in with you, buddy.
Well, no, we get the usual argument because, of course,
Kodai wants to take all on his shoulders.
Kodai wants to do it because he's got to take all the responsibility himself. So he's like, no, I'll do it. I'll go it. And I think he's like, well, I've already got the missile loaded. Fuck you.
Kodai's like, which Keeman says to the rest of Kodai's fleet, all the other fighter pilots, get Kodai the fuck out of here. And they're like, yep.
There's a great scene again, like say Saito jumps on top, so like he's riding the top of this fucking fighter in his mech suit, fucking guns blazing, and
it's amazing.
In a direct mirror to it, Kishigawa was it?
I think that's her name.
Yeah. His corporal. She jumps onto Kodai's ship.
Yep.
But in the exact opposite way, saying, "Look, I get it. I think they're actually an item by that point.
Her and the sergeant, yeah, they are.
And the sergeant, and they say, "Look, I get it. Trust me, but let's go. Otherwise, what they're doing is for fucking nothing." And she rides Kodai's ship out.
Yep. To basically give him extra point defense. It's like,
Yeah.
So yeah, so they basically fly. They basically limp out with the Yamato, but and the bomb goes off, and it looks like everybody, like the Yamato's not going to be able to, like, you know, the Yamato basically makes it out, but it's dying, and Kodai's like, okay, yep, all right, abandon ship, everybody, because the Yamato is basically done for. And he looks over, basically, you know, at this point, we're basically, okay, we've totally beaten Swordor, and what is he doing? Oh God, wait, the thing is moving over, the Arc Destruction is moving over towards, he actually managed to, it's not been destroyed, and it's going over to, it's going to go eat Saturn to power up its super weapon to wipe out Earth.
Yeah.
Fuck. And Yamato's broken. All right, well,
Yeah.
everybody, abandon ship.
They're all boarding the escape pods and the lifeboats, and they're all leaving. And so, I can't remember who it is, but I think it might be.
Shima looks back and says, "Wait."
Shima looks back and looks at the bridge, and Kodai's still fucking on the bridge
because Kodai actually has. And I will say this: this is the one time I actually agree. I totally get what I totally agree with Kodai's plan. Kodai's basically, okay, the only hope at this point is to fly the Yamato, overload the wave motion engine, and basically, you know, kamikaze kamikaze the Yamato with an overloaded wave motion engine into the damn thing and take it out.
Yeah.
And I'm the only person really left who can do that, since a lot of the commands, it's either me or Shima at this point, basically.
Yeah.
Because, you know, Hijitaka's dead because he got crushed. And Yamamoto's dead. Kimen's dead. Yamamoto is not Yamamoto. Well, yeah, the other Yamamoto, but is, you know, the pilot Yamamoto is not dead. She's just unconscious.
Yeah.
And is upset about that Kimen's dead because she sort of started basically falling for the dude because he's kind of awesome.
She loves that blue skin.
I'm still bummed about the fact that Melda wasn't around, because those two are a much cooler item, I have to say.
I have to agree.
Because
I
will say this, as cool as Kimen is, he's not fucking Melda Dietz.
Yeah,
Melda's fucking awesome.
Kick ass.
It is a shame she didn't show up in this one.
She briefly does. There's a brief shot where you actually see her.
Okay.
There's a very brief shot
of.
You
miss it kind of thing.
It is, because there's a shot. There's a shot of towards the end of Iskandar, where you can see two small humanoids standing in the sort of the Iskandarian graveyard, and one is very clearly Starsha, and the other is wearing Melda Dietz's uniform.
Ah.
It is a blinking you miss
it kind of thing.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I just happened to not blink at that moment. I was like, oh, look. Oh, so there's Melda. Poof. Aww. Melda was awesome.
Now, here's where things start to get a little bit weird.
Yeah, well, okay. To be fair, so Kodai's going in for this final run, and Mori sort of walks onto the bridge and says, "Hi," and he's like, "But you were supposed to abandon ship." She's like, "Fuck that noise."
Yeah,
if you're
actually going to leave you, yeah,
I'm not leaving you. Fuck you. Fuck that. And Kodai's like, "You know what? I'm actually okay. I've made peace with this. I mean, honestly, it's nice to have you here because it makes it a lot less lonely and painful." Because, like, goddammit, there's a wonderful scene also earlier on where, after he's accepted she's going to be staying on the ship, where he basically asked her to marry him, and she's like, "And I will say yes again," like I do every time you ask me. Because, goddammit, I love you, you idiot. You goddamn moron. At any rate, so yeah, they fly in, skaboom, and it works. The Common Empire's gone, but so is the Yamato. Although, as they're flying in, the wave motion engine starts glowing gold, and, like, the entire ship starts glowing gold, and then, like, we have golden force ghosts of all the crew who've died.
Including Akita and his brother.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Kimen. And they all sort of go riding it on the wave motion, riding out the Yamato into the thing, and they take out the Common Empire. End of episode 25. There are 26 episodes.
Yes, there is.
And a good chunk of episode 26 is basically Coda. It's sort of seeing what's happened, where things are going. Dessler. There's the final confrontation with Dessler. Dessler basically is like, yeah, okay. First off, it looked like they were actually managed to make a deal with the Common Empire to actually they actually been sort of like they had opened. So the guy that the younger Atlantean who'd been in Dessler taken prisoner turns out is Zwarder's clone.
Yeah,
his younger clone. And so basically Dessler and Keeman and Kodai basically Kodai makes a deal with him, basically like, look, dude, we don't have to pull the trigger. We can actually move past this. We don't have to be assholes to one another. And basically the Zwarder's clone is like, you know what? Let's give it a shot. We'll see what happens. Time really doesn't matter that much to us. We're clones. We'll just keep cloning ourselves. So like, yeah, sure. We'll see how relations between our peoples will look in 10,000 years, or 1,000 years, or what have you.
Now, just to clarify, this is earlier. This is not part.
This is earlier on. Yeah, this is something we forgot to mention, which is actually important. At which point, Dessler's bodyguards show up and see the dude standing there with a gun and shoot him down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, he'd already shot Dessler, and Dessler had a hole in his gut, and so Dessler's like. Because Dessler's like watching Kodai do it. It's like, huh.
Yeah, because they're obviously the reasoning with young Zwarder. So, ipso facto, they are dealing with current Zwarder as well.
Yep.
Because they're linked. They're and they've got it, and they're like, yeah, yes, okay, fine, we'll give it a go. Young Zwarder dies. Zwarder's like, fuck this noise. Flips the table.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because Zwarder doesn't have emotions at all. Nope, not at all. No, no, he does, really... and this is actually the whole reason he's doing what he's done, because he and the love of his life were betrayed by her species, who are humans, and he's like, you know what? This love thing is bullshit.
Everything dies.
Love is bullshit. I'm blowing everything up. Wow, you're petty.
Mm-hmm.
And Kodai showed up to sort of make the argument that love is not bullshit, and this is where we can. And Zorda's like, okay, fine, you're right, and I can, time is largely irrelevant to us, Atlanteans. So sure, fine, let's give it a shot. And bang, dead. Oh, fuck this noise. Humans suck. See, you totally betrayed us. But I didn't betray you. That was just bad luck.
It was just shit luck, dude. I'm sorry. Happens to everybody.
Oh, it's happened to us. So Dessler basically like, yep. So, yeah, I'm going to leave now. I'm going to go back to Belarus, and yeah, we're going to have to go see if we can find somewhere to move the capital to, or something. I don't know.
To his credit, I think he actually does say, you know what, I'm not interested in ruling anymore.
Yeah, Keeman, basically everyone basically tells him, no, look, dude. Yeah, the implication is basically he's planning on reforming the government basically in a different manner. He has no desire really to be a despot anymore.
No.
My gut feeling is they'll just move to a constitutional monarchy.
Yeah, but it's a case of look, okay, my mission has changed. I'm just looking to find somewhere for us to live. I don't have time to do that and fucking wipe your asses as well. So have your government, have your politics, and you can rule yourselves. I'll be over here with my fleet and my big shiny ship with all its fucking filigree.
It looks fucking cool.
It does look pretty cool.
So, but yeah, the final episode is largely, looking at what's happened afterwards, and our hero is basically coming up with basically realizing, okay, so we found Yamamoto. She's not actually dead.
Well, no, the thing with it is, they're doing the whole thing where, the crew have moved on. They're at the funeral site where we saw them earlier, which was where Akita's monument is. And they've added an epitaph wall for everyone else.
Yep.
Meanwhile, in the time vault,
right,
Yamato shows up.
Yes.
He just pops back into reality. They're like, wait, what? Why are you here?
Well,
and Yamamoto's the only one on board.
Yeah. The motto shows up, and Yamamoto's the only one on board, and she's alive. And she's like, yeah, so, yeah, turns out that they're all sort of that not everyone's dead.
Yeah. So you know that whole higher plane thing that Teresa's from? Yeah, they kind of ended up there.
Oh. And Keeman basically told me that it's possible to, actually save Kodai and Mori. Keeman theoretically probably could have been saved because he wasn't quite dead, but he was like, "Yeah, I'm done."
Yeah, he literally says, "I'm not. I don't want to be saved. That's me. That's me done."
Which Yamamoto's a little depressed about, but it doesn't matter. She's got a Gamelan girlfriend back on Iskandar, so whatever. I continue to ship them because they're awesome. They were hilarious. They were awesome together. They were just cool.
They were.
And I don't even care if it's actually anything beyond them just being super awesome droogs, because they're just awesome.
They were just really cool. That's all that. Yeah.
At any rate, moot point.
Yeah, it's a really quick episode. I mean, they don't overthink it.
It flies by. It really does fly by.
It's how can we suddenly decide a way of forcing the Yamato into this higher dimension to go and pick up our crewmates who are still alive? I know, 2 birds with 1 stone. Let's kill the time vault.
Well, if we use the time vault and use it up, we could probably get to the Yamato there and back again.
Yeah, because the time vault is a really from a storytelling perspective, the time vault is it's Chekhov's gun.
Yes.
It can only get worse. But they do this really cool thing where like the military are like, no, this is a great asset. We need this. Well, how about we put it to a public vote? Let's let the people decide something.
And the military, and to the military's credit, they're like, you know what? That's actually fair.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll present our cases. And so the hot-headed admiral guy who's been the one who's been kind of an asshole time, makes his case, and he's leading out all the rational reasons. And Sanada's going to be the one making the case for going to rescue them. And as he walks by Sanada, he turns and says, "Yeah, you've won."
Yeah. What is the actual line that he says? It's a great line.
I forget exactly. It's really good.
Yeah, I forget what it is. But previous to during the speech, the admiral was like, "I beg you, I beseech you to ignore emotion and approach this rationally. The time vault can be used to make us a great galactic power and secure our people."
Parallels.
Blah 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 blah. And Sato just comes out and goes, "Listen, our heroes are stuck in the hole. Let's go get them."
But even before Saito goes up, before Sanada goes up to speak, the admiral basically literally says to him as they're walking by each other, "Yep, you're gonna win this one."
Yep.
And I love the fact that Sanada, who for the entire series is largely, he's the cold lot, he's the Spock of the crew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's the one who makes the passionate, emotional plea for why they've got to do this. And he's drawing on the better parts of humanity's emotions and such, and it's actually a really cool sort of thing to do. I love that it's him doing it.
Yeah. No, I absolutely agree. Because similar to Spock, he's got a lot of heart. He just doesn't make a show of it.
Oh yeah, no, he is. It's not that he's cold and emotionless, because he's not. He just doesn't show it. He is one of the better people in this. He is one of the best people.
Yes.
He's a good guy. He's a great guy. And so they go and save. They go and save them. I mean, yes, Kodai is sort of sitting there. Kodai could have probably extradited himself a little bit to some degree on his own if he hadn't been so up his own ass, honestly. Again, the boy needs therapy.
He really does.
Also, he needs to listen to his fucking fiancée.
Yeah.
Dude, yes, you are a good guy, and you are brash and heroic and all this stuff. Listen, when your girlfriend tells you to chill out a bit, she's not wrong. But yeah, they go and they save them, and yay, they're saved. Hooray.
Yay.
and the Yamato's not blown up, and the crew's and a good chunk of the crew is still alive. I mean, a lot of the older guys are no longer with us, which is sad because they were awesome. Tokugawa was great. I miss him. I will forever miss him.
I just want to say that it's a great way to get rid of the time vault and get our heroes back, but the plan is basically riding the blast wave on a dimensional nuke into a higher plane.
Yep.
And it's just like, this is such a bad plan. I'm amazed it worked.
Yep. I agree. But yeah, that's Yamato 2202, Warriors of Love.
Yeah. What a way to go out. I mean,
I will say, I will be fascinated to see if they adapt the third series.
I don't even remember anything about the third series.
It's the Bolar Wars, and it was basically okay. So the original. So I want to say, I do want to, before we go further, I want to make a couple of very quick comparisons to the original Comet Empire series to point out the major differences. The basic story structure is mostly the same, with a few exceptions. We don't know as much about the Comet Empire people. We know Zwardar. We know Zwardar is out there to. Zwardar's the Comet Empire is very powerful. They have huge fleets. They've got the Comet, and they are flying around and they are conquering the shit out of everything. That's point difference number one. They are not. I mean, they're out to conquer the universe, and if things resist them, they'll blow them up. Why is Zwardar trying to conquer the universe?
They're going to blow them up whether they resist or not, but yeah.
Why is Zwardar trying to conquer the universe? Because he wants to conquer the universe. All right. So they go. There's the whole thing with Teresa and Telazart. That's mostly the same. Zwardar is basically trying to steal her power to help conquer the universe. They do save Teresa. There's a little difference in what happens there, because much like how Starsha formed a bond with Kodai's brother, Teresa kind of, for an omnipotent super energy being, type, does form an attachment for one of the puny humans. I will tell you who it is, and it will surprise the living crap out of you.
It's totally Dessler.
No, it's Shima.
Ha! I can dig it.
It's and like Shima's near death is part of the reason she gets involved near the end. Basically, after Dessler's kicked the Yamato's ass, and actually, this is well after that. This is in the final big confrontation with the Comet Empire, where they attack it from the thing, and they sneak on board and detonate the engines on it, and Sergeant Saito doesn't make it out, although in the dub he does, though we never see him again. Basically, they added a line in the dub which is hilarious of oh, you made it out, Wildstar, great, and Sergeant Saito's right behind you.
Yeah,
there's nothing right behind him, and we never see him again. He's very dead.
That's some creative writing that you've got there.
Yeah, they wanted to cut down the deaths of the characters everybody liked.
Saturday morning cartoon.
Yes.
Yamato.
Oh yeah. Yes. I will say by doing something to reduce the visual deaths on screen that in the original version, they actually made one set of deaths actually more powerful and sort of unnerving. When the Andromeda goes down with Hijitaka at the helm, because he's
right.
Basically in the Japanese version, you see the ship, the Andromeda crashing into the Comet Empire and being blowing up and such and dying. Right. In the localized version, the US in the Star Blazers version, all we hear is him over the radio.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And that's actually it's like, oh my god, that works so much better. There's a lot of little edits that they made to sanitize things for the Star Blazers version, which ended up making the show better in some ways. It's
Except
really
for in this one, where the Andromeda becomes a convertible.
Yeah, well, this is very different. The Andromeda still blows up.
It does. I'm sorry, but right.
That was very silly. I agree with you.
The Comet Empire have these like attack ships that are little more than basically flying swords.
Yeah, I think those are among my least favorite things Comet Empire has, to be honest.
Yeah.
But basically, one of them flies at the Andromeda and scythes straight through its command bridge. This is just after it's had its refit for its AI control, though, so the only person on board is the captain. Luckily, he's in a pressure suit on the bridge.
And he
ducked. At that point, he ducked. And at that point, he is flying the Andromeda with a fucking soft top.
There's no soft top. With an open top.
Open bridge.
So
and then as it's going down, they're like, okay, well, we'll salute him. He's gone down with his ship. Most of that, one of the fighter pilots has gone down alongside. He's jumped out the fucking top.
It was Yamamoto.
The Yamamoto, he's just fucking bailed out from the bridge directly.
He's sitting there clutching to it for dear life as she returns.
It's hilarious.
Right.
I am really disappointed that he was not standing on the back with his arms crossed.
He's not awesome enough for that, unfortunately.
No, that's something only Sato can do.
At any rate, the big difference. Those are the major. So the other big difference is exactly how Zordor is beaten at the end. Because basically, okay, yeah, we've destroyed the Common Empire, and inside is a powerful super ship, and Zordor is cheating and doing all these awful things. Is using superpowers to basically, basically he's sort of similar to the reveal at the end where the Zordor sort of activate the Arc of Destruction at the end of 2202. Except that instead of basically flying the Yamato into it and blowing it up, which is actually basically what happened in the movie version of the story. And by the way, in the movie version of the story before they did the series, there wasn't the thing where they went and saved them from the higher plane of existence. Yeah, the Yamato, and you had the crew all abandoned ship, and it was just Kodai and Mori. Yeah, that whole abandoned ship thing didn't happen.
Oh.
Yeah, the movie version, the Yamato and crew blow up. They're all dead. And this movie, I believe, is titled Farewell Yamato.
Subtle.
Yeah. The ending did not get particularly positive reviews. Let's just say that. So when they did the series version of it, instead, Teresa shows up, saves Shima because he basically because the whole reveal thing, he gets badly injured and is like she saves him because she's like, oh, the guy I like is dying. Screw that. Goes, saves him. Okay, yeah, Zordor, you're cheating. You are cheating. You are breaking the rules of omnipotent beings by doing what you're doing. Beings of a higher existence by doing what you're doing. Well, yes, but I'm a higher being now, so I can do what I want. Because that's basically what he's done. He's like, aha, I have achieved the status of a higher being. I've done what my goal is. I will now conquer the universe. Hey, Zordor? Yeah? Hi, I'm Teresa. Oh, hi, Teresa. Yeah, the whole thing that you're doing, yes, you've achieved the status of a higher being. See, I'm awesome. Yeah, part of the rules of being a higher being is not doing what you're doing.
See, this is actually something I really like. It's like I actually like the sound of this. It's like Teresa's whole shtick is, I cannot interfere in mortal affairs.
Yep.
Higher beings are not permitted to interfere in mortal affairs. I can't do anything about Zordor. He's a mortal being. I cannot interfere in oh, he's a higher power now. Ha ha! Hi, bitch!
Yeah, that's literally... And Zordor's like, well, I'm a higher...
Sweet summer child.
My issue with that is it's basically like, it cuts all the... It removes all the agency from the cast.
Oh, it does.
Yes.
Totally. That's the problem.
And that's my problem with it. It's like, oh, look, God's here.
I agree completely.
It's like,
I simultaneously love it and hate it.
Yeah, I like the idea of it like having Teresa do something more than just being the.
I will say the one thing that
font of knowledge.
The one thing that actually makes it almost sort of okay is, and not really, if it had been more intentional that the crew of the Yamato forced Zordor into this state of doing this, and Zordor hadn't really wanted to. If they basically forced him to this point, it's like, yeah, okay, fine. If you push me to this point, then I will assume the mantle of the higher being. Blah! See, I now can control the universe.
Yeah. Now you have to answer to the higher powers.
Yes.
Oh,
By the
so-
way, we have. By the way, Teresa would like a word with you. What do you mean, Teresa? Oh,
She was literally in my back pocket, which apparently is infinite when she's in there. That higher beings are weird.
yeah. Remember how
No.
you were trying to imprison her so she couldn't interfere with your plans? Yeah. Well, we busted her out. Remember?
Yeah, see, my main problem with it, the bit that I don't like about it, is it reminds me too much of Mortal Kombat Annihilation, which is a fucking awful film.
Yes.
It's literally you force them to break the rules, and the Elder Gods will intervene.
Yep. It's again. The ending of the original ending of Common Empire is. It is almost literally a Deus Ex Machina, and it's not
Yeah.
very good in my opinion.
Yeah,
But it is
Asking the
kind
Elder
of
Gods-
hilarious.
Asking the Elder Gods for help does not, defeats the purpose of Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
The same premise.
Yep.
Yeah.
But at any rate, so yeah, that's Yamato 2202 Warriors of Love. So guys, what did you guys think of it?
It's good. I'd still recommend it, but it's not a worthy successor to the original. It doesn't hold up the way it wants to. It underutilizes its best character to a criminal degree. If you're gonna bring back Dessler, make him a fucking force to be reckoned with. Make him important. Instead, he's very much a side quest. Yamamoto doesn't get enough to do in that you can totally write her out and I wouldn't notice, which makes me sad because she was one of my favorite characters. But other than that, and the metaphysical stuff is better handled than Code Geass. But
Yes, it was.
Yeah, it's still an ass pull.
it gets a little weird, and I really feel like I should be doing more acid when it's on screen, and that I should be doing any acid. But,
Oh dear.
But other than that, no, I recommend it. It's good. It has introduces some great characters, and it's got mechs, which gives it at least plus 10%. No, I dug it. It's just not as good as the original, and that's its biggest problem. And I'm being really harsh with it because it could have been amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But instead, it's just very good.
I mean, I think we had this discussion when we were going through it, but it's like the same problem. We haven't reviewed it, but the same problem we've had from watching like the new series like One Punch Man and that kind of thing. We've seen what it could be, and this feels like less effort.
Yeah.
The last episode 26, is as Peter from what I can imagine, that is literally tagged on the end because people didn't like the end of the movie.
Pretty much.
It's a decent enough coda in that it closes it closes a few holes in the plot.
But it is such a rushed ass pull of a reasoning. Like they do all that in like that one episode. This is, I mean, the first episode of this show that we did, of 3 Minute Anime. There's a comment on that first episode about how somebody was so surprised when they were listening to the show about how we started talking about the science of of radiation and particle physics and all that kind of stuff that was brought up in this show.
Yep.
Yeah.
There is none of that intelligence in this season.
For the most part, no. Not from a science standpoint.
It has some philosophical and metaphysical stuff, but doesn't handle it as intelligently as it did the actual hard science.
No, and that's the thing. It drifts away from the hard science to kind of try and kind of, like I said, it goes to very typical science fiction action thing. It solves everything with many big guns. There's no clever. I mean, there's one or two clever maneuvers, but again, the big action set pieces, other than one or two fleet battles, they just feel lazy.
I will say, basically, for me, the fleet battles, like most of the really huge fleet battles, aren't very good. But there's a point after which the show remembers what it is.
Yes.
And it moves past the giant fleets of wave motion gun ships. And all of a sudden, the Yamato is flying through fleets of ships, firing shock cannons at shit, using crazy weird stuff to they've convinced the Gatlanti the chick to help them out because Zordar has actually screwed her over for the last time, and so she's using her weird metaphysical powers to control some of the Gatlantian robo ships because she can do this. And this was actually implied that she could do this earlier because of the way that her counterpart on the Common Empire flies the Common Empire and other ships there. She can do this. So they put her in the special navigation room that they used to have Euretia in when they were flying out to Iskandar. And so she did control a bunch of ships. It's actually a really cool scene. Like, that's the sort of shit that they needed to do more. They needed more of, and less giant fleets of wave motion guns shooting at each other.
There was just a big chunk in the middle where it just felt like they were just going through the motions and hitting the story points, and what else was going on didn't really matter. It's like, you start reading a book and you read the beginning, get to about chapter, say, 10, 15, and you go, okay, the ending's here. And you pick it up and go from there. There's just these huge chunks in the middle where they try and they reveal characters and they do this, that, and it just doesn't seem anywhere near as just cohesive, I think.
Well, again, they are working from a vastly inferior story from the original.
This is clear. The source material is not there.
No, the adaptation has in places.
They basically wanted to have something that had as much weight and feel as 2199 did. The problem is that the Common Empire series is just not as good as the original Space Battleship Yamato.
Yeah,
and there's just nothing. So what is the Common Empire's motivations? To conquer shit. Well, that's basically what Dessler was doing in the first series. We need to differentiate them somehow.
Yeah.
So they came up with some interesting ideas and such, and they spent, I think what it is they spent so much time working on the weird metaphysical stuff that they kind of were like, right, fleet battle. Crap.
Yeah.
Like I said,
wave motion guns are fucking. Also, I think they did fall into the trap, but wave motion guns are cool.
The thing is, I think what they were going for is that how far humanity is falling away. They are falling towards what the Iskandarians didn't.
No, that is entirely what they're doing.
But they never actually reference that.
And
they just keep throwing wall after wall of identical cut and paste ships.
They didn't handle that well. That's clearly what they were going for, and they did. And we saw we commented on some of the elements that what they were saying. The whole automated ships, and they're basically creating their own Gatlantians with their AIs.
Yeah.
And it's like,
when did the AI join the Gatlantians to destroy organics?
Yeah.
And it never got to that point, but because the captain of the Ginja is like, no.
But the thing is, there's a difference between show don't tell and don't make it obvious, and then there's the difference between that and your characters being completely oblivious to it happening around them.
Yeah, no, they didn't do a good job. They needed to do a better job of handling, especially the comparisons to what the Iskandarians were doing.
Yeah,
I agree. Actually, that is clearly an angle they were going for, and showing where humanity was misstepping.
They were basically the humanity was making the biggest mistakes of both the Iskandarians and the Gatlantians at the same time.
Yep. No, and the shame of it is I think the mistakes they made, like the big fleet battle at Saturn, could have been done something really. They could have done some really interesting stuff with it. Like, you could keep the wave motion fleet showing up and opening up and obliterating a big chunk of the Gatlantian fleet, and then you have the Gatlantian flagship show up with its super cannon. And if they just kept the bit of the super cannon outrange, if they just mentioned the super cannon outranges the wave motion guns. So yes, the Andromeda class ships can stop the thing from blowing them up, but they can't get close enough to actually engage.
Yeah. There's none of that. There's no tactics in that battle whatsoever.
If there had been tactics in that battle, because the gravitic screen thing, the gravitic shell thing, that was fucking cool.
Yeah. Yes, it was. That was really cool.
They literally just do nothing in that scenario until the Ginja shows up and they've got the super cannon.
Right, like it's like
Their only tactic is wait for the bigger gun.
and like they could have just kept that, like, move and counter move that have that happen, then have the Ginja show up to do the reinforced shields thing, etc. Like,
you remember the episode from season 1 with the subspace submarine?
Yeah.
Where was that kind of writing in this?
Oh my god! Yeah. I'll tell you where it was in the last 5 or 6 episodes.
Yeah, no kidding.
When the subspace submarine showed up again.
Well, yeah, it's like, I remember this guy.
Falcon
there
shows
a
up
brief bit that I want to mention. When the Comet Empire shows up, and Gav beat me to it and was like, "Well, that's gonna fuck up the entire solar system."
Uh-huh.
I'm about to agree with him when they showed a shot of the Comet Empire and Saturn's being pulled into the
Comet Empire.
I'm like, oh, there you go, Gav. That's how it's fucking up the solar system.
It is. It's eating Saturn.
Somebody remembered physics is a thing.
Yeah, it's the show. Eric is right. The biggest problem with the show is we know what it could have been.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you can see elements of what it could be in it. Like, it is literally, I think, a rewrite away from being fucking brilliant.
Yeah, it needs a couple more passes with a script doctor. That's the big problem.
Because that would have if you change the script slightly in some areas and rewrite the way the battles are going to be some of the space battles are going to be shot,
and give Dessler something more to do.
Dessler needs more to do, and Yamamoto needs to be more of the show. Because she's awesome.
tacked on because she was a popular add-on from the previous one.
I will also say there's one other issue the show has, and it's not one they can actually fix. Which is part of the problem that I have with the show is part of the reason that 2199 worked as well as it did is the increased emphasis they put on Okita from the original show.
Yeah. But Akita's kind of dead.
But he's dead.
Yeah.
And Hijikata doesn't fill the same role. No. He's a good character, and I like his addition, and he works. But there is and the problem is that Kodai just isn't compelling enough to be the central sort of focus of the show to wait to the same level Okita was. He's not the heart. The problem is the heart of the Yamato is kind of not there.
Yeah.
And because I don't know how to fix that is the problem. Honestly, the way you fix it is you basically we didn't have enough of Kodai maturing over the course of the show. Like, he didn't really the big difference between this and the one thing the Comet Empire thing did okay was having Kodai grow into the captain seat.
And
he doesn't do that in 2202.
No.
Like, by the end, he doesn't really feel like he's not ready to be captain still. And that's actually, I think, an issue. Which is too bad because, again, and this is, like, we're complaining about this. It's still a good show. This is so worth watching.
Yeah, we're being really harsh on this show, but that's because it's good, and we're
good
pulling
and
it apart because it made us pay enough of attention to want to pull it apart.
It's good, and it could have been great.
Yes.
And you can see how it could have been great. Also, there's just certain things that are just not quite there, but it's so just But the sound design, fantastic.
The fucking soundtrack. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, between the harpsichords and organs for the Atlantean Empire and that synth bass for the Gamelons, I'm just like, why is this not, like, everywhere?
Yep. And that's all original series music.
Yeah. And it's amazing.
The guy, I can't remember who it was who composed the music for the original Yamato, but oh my god, they did a good job. Like, oh my god, the music, Like, the Yamato music, despite being very 70s, holds up really well. But yeah, the music of the shows in the series in 22 is great. The sound design just in general is really good.
Yes.
Animation still really good. Like, it's pretty.
Yeah.
It's
There are a
pretty
few
show.
parts of the compositing's not as good as it could be. Like
There's one shot where
the
we all
CG
look
elements.
There's one CG shot of a shot onto the bridge of the Yamato where we're all like, "Wow, that was bad
You guys
compositing."
clearly did not check your endurance work there.
Yeah, we saw what you were going for.
And like
right.
you've done a shot like that like 5 episodes ago and it was good. What the hell? But yeah, I would say overall we all really like this show. We recommend it. We also, by the way, we watched the dub.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I will say this: the dub is worth It's worth watching dubbed or subbed. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The voice actor I was most worried about for the dubbing was Dessler.
Yes.
And holy shit, that dude knocks Dessler out of the fucking park.
It was my first time hearing Dessler's dubbed voice, and I was like, oh, I was so looking forward to that sort of arrogant British villain thing. And I was like, no, after like 4 sentences, I'm like, no, this works. This works really well.
Yeah, the arrogant British sort of noble from the original Star Blazers dub. I miss him because that Dessler is fantastic.
Yes.
But this guy, oh my god, the sheer level of smug arrogance that drips from every word he says.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's just beautiful. It's just like, oh my god, I hate you so much, but you are so charismatic, I can't hate you. Oh, it's so good. He is fantastic. The guy who does Dessler's voice is Chris Rager, and he crushes Dessler.
He really does.
Oh,
those fucking mechs.
Yeah, they're gorgeous.
They're really cool. I was not expecting kick-ass, blocky, ugly, beautiful mechs in a Yamato series, and I was really happy I got them, and I want one.
You say that about every mech, though.
But these were like the perfect mix of like ugly and beautiful.
They're among Eric's favorite mechs that he's seen recently, and that's saying something.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's going to do it for this episode. We have run long.
We
kind of knew we were going to with this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say this. The other thing is we skipped over a bunch of stuff. This show is dense.
Yes.
Like Jesus.
There's a lot of stuff we skipped over because... Yeah, Peter's right. It's dense like the Comet Empire.
Yeah. Which is not as dense as the original Comet Empire, but wow. But yeah, we recommend the show. Go check it out. It was fun.
Yeah.
It was.
I mean, for all the shit we're giving it, it's simply like it's because we love it.
Yeah, exactly. This is not that it's bad, it's just that we expected more. Or we wanted more.
21.99 prepped us for more than we got. And I'll say this, if you still haven't seen 21.99, go watch 21.99.
Yeah. First of all, like, why are you watching this one without watching the previous one? They're kind of super linked, guys. Go do it.
But yeah, 21.99 is great, and 2202 is 21.99 is great. 2202 is very good.
Yeah.
Like, it feels worse than it actually is because of how good 21.99 was.
Yeah. No, if this was standalone, it would be really high up there. It's got a big brother that's cooler. That's the big problem.
And again, those the middle parts do drag a little bit, and the fleet battles in the middle are just like, oh, you guys could have done so much more with these.
Yeah.
Oh well. So that's going to do it for this episode. Thank you so much for listening. We hope you guys enjoyed. Eric, you're choosing the next series. What are we doing?
Well, I've been knocking a few around, but I've decided I'm going to do Mob Psycho 2 because
so we're doing another sequel series.
We're going to do another sequel series, simply because I watched the first few episodes of it and wanted to climb my eyes out with the beauty of it. So we're going to do it.
No,
The
don't
end.
make me rewatch Mob Psycho season 2. No.
Yeah, we're watching Mob Psycho 2. I did it just to inflict pain upon you, Peter.
No, I don't want to watch. Wait. I really like Mob Psycho 2. Yeah, I'm not going to spoil my opinions of Mob Psycho 2. They are, but I did like it, and we're going to be watching it, and I'm looking forward to this because I've been wanting to rewatch it for a little while, and yeah. So that's going to do it for this episode, guys. Thank you so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed, and we'll be back once we finish Mob Psycho 2, which could be in just a few weeks.
Yeah.
It's 13 episodes, so
Yeah, we might be able to bang it out fairly quick, depending on people's schedules and whatnot.
Yep. Yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you guys next time. Take care, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.